Oh man, what a mess. Okay, let's see. I think my mic is too far away. This is just such a great show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hero Shot Chronicles. My name is Chris Lovich, Tammy Lovich, and this is my wife. Hello, wife.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing?
I'm
Love.
good. Once again, your mic sounds terrible.
Oh, hold on. Allow me to
Oh, good
fix
lord.
that. It was behind my computer. Might be why. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
You still,
Sorry,
you're
sorry.
still, you're distorting a little now.
Okay.
If you go into do you see the little comm mic at the bottom of your screen
I
next to
do.
stop cam and press that, right? And then press
Yeah.
audio. And you see that little level there?
Uh-huh.
Does it go like all the way to green every time you talk?
Yeah, it does actually. Testing, testing. If I'm just like this,
Do you see
it
the bottom?
goes,
Does it say automatically adjust mic volume?
yeah.
Is
Should
it
I click?
checked?
No.
Check it.
Okay, how about now?
Okay, let's try it. It should be a little better. Go ahead and click out of that, and now
I
we can
have
talk later.
echo cancellation is on too and stereo audio.
It might just be me. You sound very fuzzy. We don't have any viewers yet, so I don't know that this is going to be a show worth watching. Uh,
Of course it is. It's early. Come on
oh
now.
man, look at my camera. My camera's all whacked out. Yeah, have you
Um,
shared it anywhere?
I'm about to just now. I literally just sat down, so I'm sharing as we speak.
Oh, all right.
Well,
This
I'm
is
trying to
crazy.
share.
I'm looking at my camera, and it's different than the screen you see up there. As you can see, it's way off. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
Let me
that's
see
kind
if
of
I can.
weird.
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. You sound terrible. I can't believe how bad your thing sounds.
Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your speaker.
I don't know. Hey Rick, what's up, brother?
Hi, Rick. Welcome.
Rick, does Diana sound distorted to you, like overdriven or something? I don't know, but I think it sounds weird.
Hold on a
I'm gonna
second.
try to fix my camera here real quick.
I think it might be something to do with
Oh, look at that! I can move myself around.
the plug-in thing. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's your Windows settings, but it sounds. I don't know. Every time you move it, it sounds like you're rubbing through fabric and stuff. Let me remove this. Hi, there you are. Say something. Oh, you're muted. That's why I can't hear anything. Or maybe you shut off the mic. I don't know.
Okay. So I unplugged it. I
Yeah.
am. I unplugged it.
Okay.
No.
He says you sound great out there, so I'm just going to assume it's me. You sound good. Stop messing with it. So, do you want to see what I've done this week? Because I put it all together in a slideshow. I'm talking to you, Diana.
I know. I
So why aren't you answering?
because all of a sudden wait a minute. Okay, talk now.
What?
Okay. I had opened up the Facebook window with the Facebook chat
Oh,
and
so
I
you were
opened
getting
up the
echoes?
YouTube. So I had like you can so your mic sounds, here your mic sounds. It's like anyways, hi Rick. How are ya? Thank
Okay, here we go, Diana.
okay. Ooh.
I like that one. And the available to, I did that wrong. Did you see that? I had a
Yeah.
typo in there.
What happened? That was
Oh, I just
crazy.
made it this evening. That's why. I didn't even let you
I
look at
see.
it before I posted it. I haven't put it anywhere, thankfully. Hello, Timothy and
Hello,
Lorenzo.
Timothy and Lorenzo. Hey, guys.
Hey,
It's
I
so
forgot to
nice
do
to
this
see.
though.
It is not an impromptu stream, Lorenzo. We normally stream Wednesday night at 8:30.
What was your
It's
favorite
nice
greeting?
to see you,
Was it the firm shake, the knuckle tap,
dear goodness.
or the butterfly?
I love this
Ah,
stuff. If I
can't
wasn't
even.
working so hard on comics, I would make more of them.
What is that show?
That's Invasion of Mars or the Martian Invasion or something.
That's so
Mars
funny.
attacks.
It's
How
Wednesday.
is it that you hear these things?
Young man,
How is it you
how
do
is
not?
it that you do not?
I can't even believe that this worked.
We now return control of your television set to you until next week at the same time, when the control voice will take you to...
And that's where you're supposed to go, Heroes of Chronicles, but we weren't there for that. So how are you tonight?
This is all news to me, guys. I was out packing the car because we are heading out to Connecticut tomorrow.
That's right. We're going
And,
to TERRIFICON at Mohegan Sun.
We are. I'm super excited. I haven't been to
Yes.
a Comic-Con in like 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. So we are very excited about this whole process.
Praying that the masks hold on for one more weekend. Just hold off one more weekend.
Hey, Lorenzo. Hey, Timothy. Hey, Rick. If I haven't said hello to you, welcome to our crazy show where you never know what is going to happen.
I
And
know what's
Chris
going to happen.
warned me and said this is going to be a He's in one of those moods, guys. I think he's getting a little nervous about the show, the upcoming show.
All right. Well, let me first say this is something that you may not know anything about. And by the way, Rick, welcome aboard. What the heck is going on with that thought balloon thing? Okay, so there's this convention. I guess it's called the Thought Balloon, and they are kicking Frank Miller out, basically canceling him because people don't like him and some of the things he's created and said. And I don't know. I think it's crazy. I think that maybe it's time for businesses to take a stand. You know, like these shows should just say, well, if you don't want to be there because of Frank Miller, don't be there. And trust me, other artists and creators will step up and fill that void. When we're talking about Marvel and DC, we're not talking about the big two anymore. We're talking about two withering flowers in the garden. And there are plenty of people all the way from EBS down who may very well consider being guests at such an event if invited, you know? And I just think it's ridiculous to hold fast to just modern impulse boycotting, you know? It's just it's the cancel culture. And I know Frank, so what I know of Frank Miller is he's kind of a weirdo. He's gotten really strange in his old age. But I'm a kid of the 80s. I still respect my elders. I still think Frank Miller has something left in the can, at least to share with us as youthful, participants in this industry and in this world. I don't know. What do you think, honey? Should they? You don't know anything about Frank Miller, right?
Give me a minute. He's something to do with the guy Marvel.
Well, let me give you a quick update. Okay, he was big with Daredevil. He was big with Wolverine. He was huge with the Dark Knight, aka Batman. I think he produced and may have co-directed 300. He had something to do with that movie. And Sin City was another big one for him. And then he kind of fell away. He tried to do something with Superman that really was kind of bizarre. The art was kind of weird. I wasn't following him at that point, but I heard that it was getting crazy.
Well, I know I've heard the name from you guys.
Yes, you have. I just gave you a quick little rundown. His career was wide and varied. Like, I personally enjoyed the Daredevil Wolverine stuff more than anything he did with DC.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't deny that he was, just huge with the Dark Knight. That was a huge story for them.
Right.
So, Rick, brother, how are you?
I am good.
So I think I figured out my sound problems. I think it was my sound speaker. And really, I need to do something about that. So after the convention, I may order a sound system for my computer. I have a Mac Mini, which is new to me. I used to have a Macintosh iMac. So everything was built in, and it was all pretty good sounding. It was all pretty decent. So now I'm running with like this little speaker. It's a Bluetooth speaker that won't connect Bluetooth. So I have a little headphone wire attached to it, and it's all staticky. So heck yeah, time to change that. Anyways, I got way off topic. Let me do something real quick here. I'm going to kill this audio and just let this run for a second. But these posters are pretty much what I was working on this week. That artwork was pre-established, but the big new things were the two lady posters. And I kind of just wanted to show those off. Those will probably be available in our Etsy. I believe Diane is working on that store. There's Violet Vamp.
I am.
And her new pose. This cluster fudge is actually the very first page of the comic, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an old piece of art that I just love. So I figured while I was working on prints, I'd use that one. Mm-hmm. And that one right here. This is like
Queen Sting is my new favorite, actually. I think she's extremely cool looking.
She's evolving quickly.
That does look really good.
I think she's very intriguing and sexy, but mean, but not mean.
See,
I like, and I love the chair, the honeycomb chair. I thought that
but
was
nobody knows about her yet. So to give you a little
that's right.
Queen Sting is the emerging villain at the end of issue 2, which nobody has really read yet.
I was say,
however, yeah, there is a surprise coming for those of you who come see us in the TERRIFICON, and that is that we actually have 15 pre-release copies of Cyclopean 2. And what's really unique is these unique 15 copies are not the same as what we're going to put out in the crowdfunder. They actually have some artwork and dialogue that has been adjusted because honestly, they were like, I ordered them as press proofs and I ordered too many, but now that I had them, I was really excited. And I was like, well, let's bring them to the TERRIFICON.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a ripoff in any way. In fact, it's kind of a collector's item because I'm thrilled that like I have these 15 copies that will never, ever be reproduced because I adjusted several of the panels, the artwork in it. There was a guy the last time we were on from Canada who pointed out that my guy didn't look quite the same, and that made me pay more attention. That's you, Rick. But thank you for that. That was a blessing because I've actually gone back through Cyclopean 2 and touched up a lot of the things that were off. And it's impacted Cluster Fudge too, as I'm paying far more attention to that. Sometimes I get focused on certain things, whether it's backgrounds or maybe I'm focusing on, like, my latest thing has been elbows. I absolutely love elbows. And I forget the rudimentary things like, oh yeah, this guy has to look consistent or else they have no idea who he is, you know?
They might guess, and you're probably all right. But if you can keep it a little bit more consistent, it's probably better.
Heck yeah, that helps add to the character. And after you said that, it was funny because I always take any criticism and I like hash it up. And a lot of times the criticism falls short as I go, no, I don't think this guy's really knows what he's talking about. But yours hit home, and I was like, yeah, look at that. His head is funny. It doesn't stay consistent. I need to fix that. And then, it's kind of like once you paint one wall in your house, you have to start painting all the walls because you're like, well, now that I did that wall, I have to do the wall next to it because it looks old. So I've gone through a little bit of really focusing on that. And because it's like, it's been like a week or two before the convention, we needed to ramp up our bling. So I knew I wanted to put together some new prints. So Violet Vamp and Queen Sting were really my big focuses this week. And I'm really happy with both of them. But Queen Sting kind of has, it's a lot to do with the background and the way that she's colored.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. And in black and white, the stuff even makes me more gushy. Like,
Gushy. Oh my
yeah,
God.
like I made.
Well, that's the thing too. You want stuff, sort of this promotional stuff, out beforehand. That way, you can hopefully get people amped up for the, what her appearance. Like, I've always been for my comic. My stuff has not been about one character. It's been about my whole universe. And a lot of people haven't really taken to that because a lot of people did cling on to the Canadian Shield. And yes, because he was going to be my first book, he needed slightly more promotion. But now in my second issue in my first one with Snowdrift, I have to make sure to start pumping up Snowdrift. Everybody knows about, Canadian Shield. So, you need to get them pumped up about somebody else,
Right, right. Well, it's almost like, it reminds me of professional wrestling and the promotion that goes on behind the scenes, because you kind of have to, hype up your upcoming storyline. And one thing I love to do is I love to pepper, like I call it like the Thanos thing, but it really has always existed where you just kind of hint at something's coming. And every issue, you just kind of bring it a little bigger, a little bigger. Forevertron is going to be a huge character in Cyclopean's life. And I really am excited by the character himself.
Mm-hmm.
But he is coming up slowly, and he's going to have the appearance of a villain. And we'll see whether or not he stays a villain.
There you go.
But it's just a joy to put these things together. And so we have issue 1 done and in the can. We have issue 2 ready to go. We're going to start the crowdfunder soon because Kickstarter's done.
Yep.
By the way,
all mailed out.
I want to talk to our backers because we had one receive a very odd misprint. And if you happen to have one like it, I just want you to know that we are aware that it may have happened to you too. And if it has, let us know. What happened was our friend received a book that was missing the first 22 pages. And it was bizarre because what he actually got was the Kidclopian section only.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. He posted publicly about it. So it's not like I'm, saying anything that's secret. But apparently he got a defective book. Apparently it was printed defectively. And Diana and I discussed it. And it wasn't like we weren't paying attention, but we didn't notice a book missing a chunk of it.
Yeah, so it's so weird because I have such a system of doing this. Like I have all the copies that need to be signed, all the copy that don't need to be signed. I have like their labels. Like I have this whole system, and I just sit there and I take the books, I take the bling, put it together, tape it up.
And keep in mind,
but
I signed this thing too, so like it went by both our eyes. So if you happen to have anything that's missing any pages, let us know. We'll be happy to send you a copy.
I'm going to be contacting our.
Yeah, well, that's something that's easy to do because, I'm not sure how many you had to give out, but it just does get in a bit of repetition. It's just, I'll grab a book, count out this many books, put it here. These are the ones to sign. Count this many books. These are the ones that just get bagged and boarded. So you don't even think sometimes that, this one seems a bit thin. You're not paying attention to that little detail.
Well, and we use a perfect bound cover, so I'm sure that it was the right width, but not the right weight. You know what I mean? Like they would have still had the right wrap around this. I don't know how it got by, but if you happen to have backed any of our books and you get something like that, let us know because printing defects will happen, but the way we handle them are going to be real quick replacements. And let's get our customers happy. I would be so disappointed if I ordered Canadian Cross, for example, and I got like half the book. The good thing is we do have the policy of always sending out the PDFs. So he was like, happy that he could still read it. But that was kind of how he knew it was messed up. Otherwise, he might have just thought it was a weird indie book.
And Lorenzo, yes, I mailed them all out on Monday. So again, it was just a fluke. Now we've been using, our printer Amazon forever.
Yep.
And we've never had this happen before. I actually emailed him and asked him to send me a picture of the book because I will be contacting Amazon next week when we get back from the show to make sure they refund, replace, whatever.
Speaking of next week we'll be launching Cyclopean 2.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Next Wednesday, we're going to be launching that.
And we do have to consider apparently there's a huge thing against Kickstarter in the indie comic book scene. So maybe we need to consider either using both crowdfunding services or just switching over to Indiegogo, period, because I don't know how centered the polling was, so to speak, but a lot of people I saw on Twitter recently were like, yeah, I'll never back anything from Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah, but that could be
Who said this?
That could be a lot of unfortunately the Comicsgate crowd won't back Kickstarter because of they seem to have a bias towards conservatives or whatever, or you want to say it.
Well, I do need to be careful because I am obviously right leaning, even though I'm an independent voter, and I do not favor any one party in particular because I think they all get crazy as you get to the top. But that might be a concern for us because I definitely have said some right-wing things out there. Now, as far as Comicsgate goes, I don't know what the heck Comicsgate is, and you can ask 1,000 people and they'll have 3 or 4 different answers. Yeah. So I mean, I just kind of try to keep the peace with everybody. That's what Jesus told me to do. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, same here.
There's only one group that I avoid with like the plague, and that's the whole lolly pedo crowd. If you're into that stuff, yeah, I'll shy away real quick. But otherwise, I try to stay peaceful with everybody.
True. And I am peaceful with everybody because I don't interact with any of that group in any manner, except if I tweet something and they may see it, but I don't think.
Well, you're kind of a blessing because like when I get really upset, I go to her and I tell her whatever it is. And she always has like that innocent answer, like just give it to Jesus type of answer.
Well, think about it.
I know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's kind of funny because it's always where you take it.
Isn't that crazy?
What, to give it to Jesus? Which part? What's crazy? I don't know if she's actually with us. She keeps saying stuff and disappearing. Are you with us, honey?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am here. I am here.
Who the heck are you talking to? I'm
not talking to anybody. My Facebook volume just started. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay, so you got echoes again, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's always fun. Something else I wanted to discuss tonight. What do you know about He-Man, my love?
He-Man, like in the guy that looks like a girl with blonde hair and big muscles, and my son really liked him when he was a kid.
Yes,
and I think that he was really strong, and he had some girls around him and a lion. Didn't he have a lion or a tiger? That's what I know about He-Man.
The battle cat.
A green tiger.
Yes, it was all right. I was close. I knew it was some kind of a cat thing.
So recently, there was a kind of a reboot of the show, a continuation of the 80s series, as it may have been described by some creators in the series. And the fans were told it's not the Teela show. It's not woke. It's going to be a very good He-Man show. He-Man's not stepping aside. He's the star. And it was everything the creators said it wasn't. Kevin Smith, in fact. So everybody else has commented on this over the last week, and I watched the series myself. I just wanted to say I don't like it. It's not my He-Man, but if people do like it, I don't care. Let them like it. He-Man was always like, so to be honest, for me, like, okay, you talked about how Mike loved it.
Mm-hmm.
He-Man was always the show I had to tolerate to get to Thundercats or Silverhawks or Star Blazers or Force 5. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't my, if I missed He-Man after school because I was late getting home, I wasn't crying. If I missed Thundercats, I was getting mad.
Mm-hmm.
Or Voltron. There were so many shows that stood out further. I think it's crap what Kevin Smith did. to the fandom by telling them that, yeah, no, it's not this. I think he would have been better served by saying, hey, no, this chapter is all about Tila, and I hope you guys like it. I'm going to elevate her and do that. Yeah, he would have gotten woke criticism, but it would have been way better than being called a liar, which is basically what's happened now, because that's basically
the guy that redid it, Kevin, whoever his name
Kevin
is.
Smith. Yeah.
That's too bad.
It is too bad because people really loved that guy for a long time. He was kind of like a fan's fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember distinctly when he had a heart attack, people freaked out. Everybody was like, oh, I hope Kevin's okay. I hope he makes it. Well, he did.
Right.
and now it's kind of crazy. And I don't want to, hate on the guy,
right.
But it's such a big topic with everybody that I'm like, okay, this is just my position, like if you're happy with the show, amen. If you're not, I agree with you. Now let's move on because it's just a He-Man.
Why is it becoming an issue?
Oh yeah.
Like,
hey, welcome, Lorenzo.
It's become such an issue. I've only seen like
Lorna.
the first 2 or 3 episodes, and maybe only the first 2.
How are
you?
And I don't know where it's going with it. Well, I have some ideas because I've seen enough spoilers. But I don't know. What do they have? Like 6 episodes or something in total?
Yeah, I think 5 or 6.
5 episodes.
And so I'm hoping that they bring He-Man back at some point in time, and that he's an integral part of the show, and that I imagine Tila will be as well. But
hey, hey, Lorenzo, I have to stop for a second. Hi, Lorna. Lorna is a wicked old friend. Like last time I saw her, I was like 18.
Yep.
And cool. She just popped up in chat, so I had to say, hey.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's more important than He-Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's become a huge controversy, honey, to the point where like you go on Twitter, if you're in my feed, and like people are they're still, and it's becoming really the same thing as like Star Wars, where it seems like a fandom is rising, where in this case, I don't know that it's merited. It's like I almost want to go, let's watch old Voltron or old Thundercats.
Yeah,
like,
they had a Voltron reboot too.
It sounds like he just did he just revamp He-Man and basically change?
Yeah, for the billionth time.
What are you laughing at?
Well, it's more he changed the characters' personalities.
Well, I heard He-Man was actually a barbarian in one of the comics. So I mean, like,
that's what I thought.
I think he's been changed so many times.
But I think
but I'm not an expert though.
Yeah, but for me, it wasn't even that he messed with the show. Like that kind of sucked. But that's kind of expected in Hollywood these days. Yeah. What killed me was he sat there for weeks saying, nope, the leaks are wrong. It's not about Tila. It's all about He-Man.
I thought he said that was just I thought he said that the first few episodes were about it was going to be focused on Tila, but there's going to be another arc after.
But I think after
though,
I think after the leaks started coming out specifically from that Clownfish TV, he started kind of swimming around because at some point he knew this was going to blow up in his face.
Have you ever watched Clownfish TV? Like every single is like negative, except for maybe they did something positive about the Orville before. But it's like,
but I do like their music.
Oh yeah, they do have a catchy theme song.
Lorna, that would be more.
I wish they would focus more on stuff that they actually liked, because I got Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I'm so overwhelmed by there's so many different shows I have in my playlist, and I don't know what to watch next. And yet, people don't get as many clicks if they talk about things they enjoy.
So I have to say, Lorna is talking about our comic book in a classroom, and we absolutely would endorse that. In fact, we might even be able to help you get some free books, because our last campaign we offered basically we're giving out a bunch of free books at we're giving away a bunch of free books at the conventions. Hi, Beth. So, yeah, we would be all for that. The only thing I would caution you about is be aware that the Cluster Fudge series is very mature.
Yeah, no, that would not.
Blast of the Reapers is more like 13 and up, and Cyclopean is all ages.
High school, though.
Yeah, it might be.
High school, it might be okay, depending on the classroom sort of what type of a costume it is.
Although
It's
I have to
reading
tell, yeah, but I
intervention.
have to say, Cluster Fudge has been labeled as the darkest comic ever reviewed on
Yeah.
Well Read Comics.
Yeah,
I'm really cautious about recommending it until I get issue 2 done. With that said, issue 2 is looking so cool. And I mean, the same thing, Rick influenced me last week, and I went back and I replaced the butt shot. Diana, did you like the replacement?
I was surprised by it, actually. I didn't understand it. I'm like, what's going on? I thought you liked her other buttocks. Now
I
you
did,
changed
but
the
then
buttocks.
after I started looking at it, I was like, I can do better. So I did. So hang on, I'll pull it up and I'll show you exactly, because
So
it's not a nude
Beth
shot.
said, Beth goes, it's not for the faint of heart. So Beth, did you get a chance to read it? Obviously you did. So guys, can I just introduce Bethany is one of my favorite ladies. She's a wonderful artist in her own right. She actually did a couple of fan art pieces for us. We're planning on taking it to the Granite State Comic Con. But yeah, I love her to pieces, and we're hopefully one of these days we'll get her on our show and she can show some of her fabulous art. She does amazing watercolors.
Just so you know, honey, anybody
just
who wants to join can join. That is open.
You can join now. Any of you guys can come on now.
The link is in the description. So I'm going to share a screen.
So
and
Lorna, well, Chris
this
is
is not
sharing. The cluster fudge is I really enjoy the storyline, but of course I know all the back information. But when you first pick it up, and if you know some of Chris's previous work, it's not anything that you would expect from Chris.
Okay, so this was the butt shot. Let me just show this real quick.
Yeah, she's got her buttocks. Look at. I thought that was fine.
I thought the right cheek looked too droopy or something.
Dear
so
God.
I went ahead and redrew the.
Oh my God!
Ready? I'm going to show you now. Boom! Doesn't that look better?
This is what I came home to, guys. Tell me what's wrong with my husband.
She looks prettier that way. But yes, Cluster Fudge is mature, so I can get away with that.
Yeah, what was the previous one?
The previous.
I like the previous one better.
I'll show you the previous.
She might be a little bit more inviting that way. That's for sure. I'm not sure whether she's.
You should keep both butts somehow. Now
you've done it. Now I'll just have her repair another part of the ship.
Put it there's an appendix in the book or something where you got extra stuff that didn't quite make it.
Maybe you could put it somewhere else. But I come home from work, okay, and there's Christopher at his iPad. Hey, honey, look at this. I changed this shot. You know this shot right here? And he shows me. I'm like, yeah. Okay, what did you change it to? And he's like, she's bending over for him. She's looking.
This sounds like typical comic book stuff, though.
I'm telling you guys, right? I'm like,
well, the thing is, I want to learn to draw more beautiful women than what I've been able to draw. And the only way to do it is to look at pictures. And the only way I learned looking at pictures is drawing what I'm looking at. And so when I was looking at the other girl's butt, the first version, I was like, I can do something better. Like, and then I heard Queen. Remember Queen? Fat bottom girls who make the rock and world go round. So, yeah. So I did the.
So
hang on, holy cow, we have George here.
Yeah, just dropping by to say hi. How's it going?
How are you, bro?
What's for dinner?
Oh,
anything you want, man.
It's good to be on a stream with you again.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Diana actually does have dinner.
I am eating my garden zucchini that's lightly breaded with a little olive oil and baked in the oven. See? It's very yummy.
Not bad.
And my favorite fast food is a fish stick. And of course, everybody likes to have a little bit of seltzer when they're having their.
Of course, you're watching your diet. Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
So that's what I mean. All right, get me off the big camera now. And
there you go. That was beautiful, honey. I forgot you actually had dinner. Mm-hmm. And while you have that seltzer, you also have a wine.
No. Come on.
Oh, you
now.
mix it. You mix
not
it.
Really like the only reason why I drink out of a can is if I'm on a boat. Like on a boat or in my yard.
Wait a minute. How often are you on a boat?
not often, so I don't drink out of a can very often.
Yeah,
But
well,
look,
she
isn't
goes
it
on
cute?
boats 2 or 3 times a year.
Listen,
Oh,
can you guys
really?
see? That's
Yeah,
my
she does.
sloth. Do you see my sloth wine glass?
Yeah.
How are
So
you, Greg?
Oh, hey,
Council?
Lunga.
Hey, great counsel.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you drink out of a can when you're out and a boot.
Damn you,
He
Lunga.
told you to
Damn you. Damn you. Right back, Lunga.
So listen, Lorna, before we lose track of you, just contact Diana or me on Facebook, and we can try to provide you with whatever books you need. That would be fantastic. We love getting them out.
Let us know. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
And
for sure.
and any other teachers out there, we would love to do that with anybody. Of course, you got to be careful. At some point, the kids don't really get into comics because they're too young. But I don't know where that lies. When I was 5, I was into comics. You know,
we have to bring it back. That's the whole point.
That's true. And manga has a grip on people, so we know it's still
well,
there.
manga is very cool. It is a very cool kind of thing. I mean, I know you don't do manga, but maybe one of our young artists that we are currently talking with here in our town.
So you kind of mentioned Beth.
Yes, I did mention
and
Bethany.
we're
call her
trying
Beth, but her real name
Bethany,
is Bethany.
I'm sorry. We're trying
Guys, check her out.
to bring these girls on, girls being Krista and Beth, as commissioned artists. And we do have projects in the future that we want to dole out and start farming out. Because frankly, I want to focus on my book, but I have other books that I'm writing, and Diana has a few things she's writing.
I'm going to need somebody to draw my art. Hint, hint, girls.
Yeah.
And,
all right. I got a solution for you. I think I know how you can defeat manga.
How?
Are you ready?
Yes.
All you have to do is identify your book as manga.
I was thinking about that because it would cause such a controversy. Even
oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Hey, come on! You got to use what they're you got to use the tools of the time. This is what the left has given you.
That's right.
You know, hey, I identify as a pink toasted sandwich. Okay, great. You know, you're a pink toasted sandwich. I believe you. Well,
yes.
Hey, your book identifies as manga. In fact, even have a banner at the top. This book identifies as manga.
Careful now, we have a lot of creators listening to this.
And if they don't put that your book in the manga section, I would call that a movement.
Diane, are you paying attention?
Yes. Remember when I said, "Where are the women?" in the last God chat that we
Yes,
did?
yes.
Like I was here, and I was a room full of men, and I was. Oh, that was a night.
Now we skipped God chat last week, or this week,
this
Monday.
It
was really just,
it
was really just exhausting, guys. And to be honest, I wasn't in the right state of mind to be in a God chat. Like sometimes you just know if you go on the air, you're going to say something stupid. And I didn't want to get into anything.
That's me every show.
Yeah.
All right. So who was in charge of making the sandwiches?
Well, it depends. I made mine tonight. I made a double cheese cube steak sandwich with raw onion, and it was just beautiful.
Yep. I loved it. I didn't have to cook for him tonight.
Yeah, you know, just before we got on, I went to the fridge to make myself a smoothie. Yeah. I had cherries that I pitted them and removed the seeds, and I went to get some almond milk, and it was warm. So I go I can't drink a warm smoothie, and then I looked in the freezer, and I found frozen mango chunks. So I dropped the frozen mango chunks into the blender, and that thing froze up so much that when I first took the first sip through the straw, plastic straw, not a paper straw.
Amen.
I got a brain freeze, and here I am.
That explains your facial expression, George.
So anybody who doesn't know out there,
you got that grin on your face.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody who doesn't know, George is a culinary expert that has graced many a stream with his snacks and meals. So
he's my kind of guy.
Yeah,
I'm always eating on stream. If you go back, I don't get to dinner until this time.
You notice I've stopped complaining. I complained for about the first month.
Oh my
and now it's just like it's not even worth it. She does it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people are just dumb. You know, they're streaming and starving, and like, why?
So I could be nice and I could do this and just shut the camera off, but I'm like,
Well, I actually found people want to know what you're eating. It's
obviously.
Yes,
George asked me.
And and people want to know what he's eating. Like he comes on his stream and usually they're like, "Show us what you're eating, George."
So Beth said she had a Hot Pocket, a new low. I haven't had a Hot Pocket in a long time. They were good.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Right?
Hot Pockets are good.
Hot Pockets are good. Maybe I'll buy some next time. Thanks, Beth.
Hey, by the way, while we're talking of food, is anybody else following the Steakum account on Twitter?
The what?
The Steakum account on Twitter?
No, but I'm following Salt B on Instagram. And you know the guy who cuts the meat and then sprinkles salt going down his forearm onto the have you Salt B? Look him up.
Oh my gosh,
we're gonna have to look him up, honey.
No, wait, give me a sec. I'll find the link right now and I'll post it in the private chat. And you can do a what do you call it? You know the screen share. Yeah, that's it. That's
screen share.
Cool. The fancy word, you know.
Yeah, the fancy word.
So, honey, while he's finding it, other things at TERRIFICON we're doing. We're having the premiere of our 2020 Hero Shack Chronicles, or not Chronicles.
2019.
Well, we had 2019, but now we have the 2020 omnibus too.
Yes, but we have not been to a Comic-Con in a year and a half, so that 2019 omnibus that you like to call it has never seen the light of day. It's been sitting on the Amazon bookshelf, and the 2020 will be. So we have copies of pretty much everything you've ever done. The
only thing we don't have a lot of is Last of the Reapers, right?
Right. Somehow we don't have a lot.
We didn't order a lot of them.
That. But I figure this show is one of the biggest shows we've personally have ever gone to.
I think it's the biggest we've ever gone to. I think this is bigger than Manchester.
It is bigger than Manchester.
I think it's bigger than New Jersey too.
Yeah, because this is a 3-day full day show.
Well, Garden State was too, but it just isn't quite as. This is like the number one show in Connecticut, and it's at a casino.
You know, well, yeah.
You know what we do at casinos, right?
We have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Here, I'm sharing my screen. Share my screen.
Okay, hang on. Let me see where is that it? Right? Yeah, that is. Hang on.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, the audio doesn't work because this is off of a different browser. Okay, this gentleman, his Nurse Et is the name of the restaurant. He's from Turkey, and he came from less than zero, and now he is the number one restaurant in the world.
Oh my gosh.
And right now, he just opened up another franchise in Greece, in Mykonos, Greece. He opened up a franchise in Texas, Florida, and California, and also Chicago and New York.
Yep.
And he's spending like 3 to 4 months in each location around the world.
That's awesome.
And the experience in this restaurant is like the top experience and all restaurants. And you just look them up. There's a franchise you can get to. If you're in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and somewhere in Florida. I forgot the place.
I'm getting hungry just watching it.
Wow, did you see that?
So this is actually in Mykonos right now. All his restaurants are complete sellouts. I'll just flip through. This is people partying. You know, it's a crazy experience.
So does he leave the restaurant open after he leaves it? Like train the
well, here's the crazy day. Oh, record day! Wow, he celebrates this. What he does when he celebrates a record day.
I'm writing him down. I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, I put the link in the private chat.
Oh,
awesome.
Okay, so check this. This guy's so dedicated to his work, right? So dedicated that he exercises. Let me go back to this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at that muscle, man. He's
no, this guy. Okay, let me flip through all the people watching. Oh, here's the experience right here. Look, everybody's just enamored with him.
Now,
right?
Does he do vegan meals as well, or is it?
No. This is come on,
Christopher. I
Okay.
can't even believe you asked such a silly question.
I had
Okay.
to ask.
All right, so basically his day is like this. In the morning,
We have one in Boston.
in the morning he exercises in the morning hard.
Holy
actually-
cow! He could be a model for like the heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's yeah.
Okay, so he exercises hard in the morning, and then it does the logistics around noon, and then about 2 to 3 o'clock, he's like full on restaurant host.
Wow.
And he works right till closing. He's there to.
He is 110% invested.
This guy is right there. Being front and center when people come in, he greets them. If they request, he will go. He will, cut the meat. Party with the table.
All right, I have a question.
And by the way, that rock,
Mhm.
that's solid gold.
So I have a question.
That's a solid gold rock that he's what do you call it, exercising with.
He's working out.
I'm
adding a
already
little extra
forming a
weight.
theory here, but I'm gonna guess he bounces around the country or around the world.
The world.
Yeah,
world.
I want to know in the regions that he's in. Do vigilantes?
You can look him. You can look him up.
Yeah,
And-
I'm actually looking at his
He looks like
restaurants right
Batman
now,
or
guys.
Daredevil. I'm like, okay, so when he goes to a city, does the crime rate go down? Does like a vigilante appear at night? After closing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I
That's
was
some
just
mad
wondering if he's
skills.
going to the land of lost and set up
Okay.
a restaurant there.
Okay. So this is his life right here. This is him growing up.
Yep.
And his notice says, "I started from below zero."
Right.
And this is literally how he grew up, working in the service business. Scrubbing.
Yep.
Doing the grunt work.
Yep.
And he did it. He succeeded.
That's awesome.
This is the house that he grew up in, and now he's all over the world.
That is so cool. Christopher,
Yes.
there is a restaurant in Boston. We are going to go. I am going to get us there one way or the other.
Woohoo!
I will have to find out
Let's
when it's gonna
not.
be in Boston. I'm sure you can go anytime, obviously. But it would be
Well, we
so
can't
cool.
go this weekend because we're going to be in Connecticut this week.
No, I meant the
hey,
restaurant is obviously open, even though he's not there.
It's Miami. It's Miami, Florida.
No, but he has one in Boston. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Boston. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we live in Massachusetts. Boston's an hour away. I mean, I would book a room,
By the way,
have
you
dinner.
call to make a reservation because it's always
I'm
sold out.
looking right now. I'm like,
Always sold out.
macaroni.
But my wife knows I'll go the extra mile for a great steak.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Look at this. This guy just
He
dominates.
knows his meat, that's for sure.
He dominates.
Wow. That's very impressive. And he's got a whole like thing going on. You know what I mean? He just doesn't cut them. It's like a whole dance.
Presentation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's sexy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this guy. He's like, he has black gloves. He's got a little white t-shirt on. His hair's all slick. And he's
Okay,
got
honey, we get it.
sunglasses.
You like the display. I get it.
It's very interesting.
So where's the
As I
waitress?
sit here and eat my little fish stick, just
Chris,
doesn't
I
taste the
think-
same anymore.
Hey, Chris, I think you should be jealous.
I'm
No.
getting a little intimidated. Not jealous though.
No, we don't get jealous. We just
No,
kind of
not
look
anymore.
at each other and
We're
say,
too old to get jealous. Yeah, we just kind
You're
of look at each other.
dreaming. Like,
Look at the way he cuts the.
look at this. Look at the whole.
I
He's
mean,
like, wow.
the guy's loving the work.
Look at.
He's an artist, man.
Yeah, he is.
Look at that.
That is so cool.
It's kind of
No.
scary too, because like if that was like
Yeah, there you go. He slaps on me too, by the
He's
way.
beating his meat.
This is food porn.
I'm telling you, I see a vigilante, man. I see
Chris,
the
the next time I grill a steak, I'll try to be like, you know.
Oh no, not with me in the room. I've seen you holding knives.
This is him in Los Angeles. Here's with Wahlberg.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check.
All of this is because he learned how to cook and present a mean steak.
Jason Stratham.
Wow.
Hello, Alzamat Films. Did you see that, Chris?
Yeah, so, honey, do you remember? Okay, so I was just talking about him.
Okay,
Alzamat is the guy behind Road Warrior Drake.
Yes.
So I've been trying to help Diana figure out who's who, and
you like flashcards or anything?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some. But I think once she gets familiar with the basic ones that I like, she'll be okay.
Give her some flashcards, Chris, for crying out loud. It's been almost a year.
Speaking of flashcards, that's another thing we're going to have at TERRIFICON. We just printed up a whole bunch of character cards, all of which are based on the posters that I just showed. But they're little quarter-page cards that we can give to the kids because Diana designed this like roulette wheel that will be on the table, and that's how we're going to give out the comics. We're going to roll the wheel and here you go, little kid. Have a comic. Here you go, little kid. Have a bookmark.
I gotta go. I got a phone call.
Have a good time, George. Thank you. George is always fun, man.
He's a fun dude. He's a great artist too.
Yeah, I like his stuff.
I was gonna say goodbye, but I was messing with my avatar. Bye, George. Wherever you are. That was so cool. I haven't been able to be on a stream with him for a while.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a long
really
time.
late at night.
Well, when I don't see people for a while, I figure I just ticked them off, and they're. You know.
Well, I see him, but I don't. He's been streaming really late at night, though. That's the deal.
I know.
I mean, I see him in chat, and I like group chat, and I see him in.
Rick got blocked. Why? By who?
I don't, Timothy. No, he just came on. I don't want to get into anything like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck in the middle of this.
That's no.
Yeah, I don't.
Now you
there we
go. Chris, seriously.
I have to show it at least once a show.
So, I don't know if Beth and Lorna is still here, but Chris likes to do these. He thinks they're funny videos, and okay, maybe they are funny.
Well, that was kind of.
Well, and the guys all love it. Okay.
In that one particular context, it was fitting because it changed the topic.
I have a lot of fun with it, honey. It's just it's
so
inspired from the Trash Compactor.
Right, but you started to do this so we could stay on topic.
Yes, and I keep going back to TERRIFICON, which, and admittedly, I'm a little nervous about, but I am excited about the prospect of like sneaking out of the hotel room at 3 a.m. with a pocket full of dollars and going down to the slot machines and coming back and saying, honey, you can sell the house. We're millionaires.
It's so funny. Well, the last time we went to any kind of a casino, we didn't have a lot. Like I play the penny machines. That's how serious of a gambler. And I would go through all my money really quick. And meanwhile, Chris is like 2 machines over and he's got like a cup full of money. I'm like, oh, hi, honey. He's like, are you out of money again? All right, here. And like within 5-10 minutes, my money would be gone. So I know that I am not like that
night. Okay, you got to understand that the lure of gambling is tonight could be your night. You know,
but
like
you can scroll down on there. See, Tim apologized. Sorry to interrupt the story. I'm just looking at the screen, getting kind of nervous.
Oh no, I know why he's
don't be nervous. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. You just asked a question.
But sorry, no, I mean, I just
especially on our show.
I just don't want to get stuck in the middle of something between Rick and George.
Yeah, let's I don't want to cause any drama on this show.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's still on the screen, and
So let's not talk about it.
Timothy's message. And
Oh
it's
shoot!
like,
Yeah, it is still on the screen.
yeah, and it's like Timothy already had a message.
Christopher.
Told, I apologize.
Dude,
I didn't want to interrupt the story because I
Huh?
was finding it entertaining. It's just I looked at the screen and I was getting more and more nervous.
You're stressing our friend Lorenzo.
Because there's like
I'm sorry.
like
I'm
all
not a
day
very
long
good
there's these
producer.
drama streams, and it's just
I
like
hate this drama streams. We
yeah,
are
it gets so
on
silly
drama.
because it's like I thought this was supposed to be about comics, and it's like
Yeah, it's supposed to be. So I'm trying to help Diana see, but I can't even see my glasses.
Thank
right.
you. He lost his glasses. Lorna, thank you for stopping by. Absolutely. We're going to be at the Comic-Con until Sunday, but I will get back to you next week and we'll set something up for you and your wonderful students.
Awesome. Yes, thank
All
you.
right.
Great to see you guys.
Beth's only offended by dad jokes and puns. Well, we don't have any dad jokes. So we don't.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
very nice of you to say.
Okay, that's my specialty.
Yeah, like
and I'm not even a dad.
you're in a room full of dad jokers. You
yeah,
know?
and George he's got quite the repertoire himself too.
I mean, look at these glasses. How could I not do anything but dad jokes? But I can see with them. I just feel stupid. Like, don't I look younger?
I don't know
without them?
why. No, you're
Although this is cool.
look at. You know what you look like when you can't read? You're like this.
Wait, can I do this? Like, see, it's cool. They
Yes,
click.
but when I got him
Yeah.
those
With
because
the
they stay
glasses
around his
on.
neck, but he
the
won't keep them
glasses
there.
on- With the glasses on, you look like some sort of professor.
So today we will discuss the one-eye species of Cyclopean.
I think he looks extremely intelligent and very handsome, but that's just me because,
Well, thank you, baby.
my husband and all. And I like the fact that he can actually see what he's reading and going, "Can't?"
Yeah, it's hard to see on a screen
He's
where
so
like
funny.
I need to get some new equipment.
No, you need to. You're not getting any new equipment. Nice try. They do have magnifying screens that we can put in over.
Yeah, they're called bigger screens.
You're not getting a bigger screen. Nice
No,
try.
I have a
Oh, there
huge
you go.
screen. I have a huge 44-inch HD TV, but
Exactly.
the angle is horrible for streaming because of the way. Maybe I'll just reset my camera in the studio, but
Well, they used to have those magnifying screens you could put on top of a Game Boy screen and make the Game Boy screen look bigger.
yeah, I think Diana's talking about actually it's a lens that does that too. Like they use it for people with vision problems.
Right.
But my vision is fine. It's just it doesn't work well.
This what doesn't work well.
Oh, goodness, I can't even.
Hey,
Look at him.
that's like saying, Chris, you got a great memory. It's just that it's awfully short.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, no.
There we are with the dad jokes.
Hey, you know, the
Oh.
truth is, though, the reason I love my iPad is because it does help me get in closer where I couldn't ordinarily see things without an artificial magnifying glass. Like you can zoom in and just clean the heck out of a line.
Wait, do you think Shakespeare would do a drama stream? Timothy, I did not see that. Yeah, that's funny.
Well,
Even
the thing about drama is
No,
there's
do you
definitely
see
there's
Wrote.
definitely
Do you see what
What?
he wrote? Do you see what
yes,
he
I
put
saw
in
what he wrote. But what I'm saying is the thing about drama streams
Shut
is
up.
there's
Shut
definitely a
up.
market for it,
the
and there's definitely people who are good at it. It's just not really our cup of tea. We can dip our toes in drama, but when it gets real
maybe we
serious,
need the medieval the Shakespeare insult generator. Have you ever seen that? That would
no.
help us with
No.
our drama.
Well,
I'm trying to sorry,
Shakespeare
just trying to tie those two
insult
those two topics together. Like
That's so
Oh,
funny.
no.
I've never heard of that. Is that a real
yeah,
thing?
yeah, there's like a Shakespearean insult generator where it just has like these different insults from his plays.
Oh,
It's
God.
just like, I don't know. I wonder if the site's still up because you go to the website and it would have just have a random Shakespeare insult. And it was just so great too because it was like I think he's calling people like bugbears and stuff.
dun, 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 dun. I gotta put the glasses back on. Drama streams once in a while can be entertaining, but
I agree.
If you think long term, you want to create content that has long term value. Very well spoken, sir. I agree.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, the only reason I survive Twitter is because I stop reading it and actually sit down and draw. But I do that all the time. It's just, I don't know how some people do it. Like, I know why some people are slower if they're doing all this stuff, because it does eat time and energy, spiritual energy. Like you just run, emotionally dry, and it breaks some people down. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been broken down, but I've been worn down.
It causes division, and then there used to be all these internet blood sport shows on YouTube, and like. There was like the Tankasa had the Kumite show, this native wrestler guy, and then Andy Worski. He went from complaining about SJW. He's a kind of a comedian, and he was mocking SJWs. He went into the whole blood sport thing, and internet. There was this backyard blood sport. All that stuff is gone now. The only thing that's left is like there's that Ralph retort, or it's called the Kill Stream or something. It's not even on YouTube anymore. I think it went to D Live, but I'm not even sure if they're on there anymore. And there's people who watch it. And I think it's pretty successful still, but I think that's the only one left. I used to watch.
And I don't even know about any of them, so I guess it speaks to how they got, how far they got. But there is a market. It's just. I don't think that's the Hero Shack way.
A bunch of people would turn on each other. They'd go and they'd have these kind of Jerry Springer type things, and the guests would be arguing. But then the co-hosts would start arguing about just like the silliest things. It seemed.
Well, isn't that what Twitter kind of is? Twitter, YouTube.
And YouTube was set up that way. Like it became because of these adpocalypses where there were these headpieces done to that the legacy, the traditional media outlets would slam on YouTube and paint it as being some sort of extremist site. And because they were kind of jealous that people weren't like maybe not reading the Wall Street Journal as much as they used to, or watching CNN or whatever. So they did these hit pieces, and then so these people start pulling their ads. And then, so people went to doing the super chat thing, where you pay money for them to read the chat on air.
Yeah, we've never done that. I don't know. I suppose if there was a demand for it, we've never been asked for it, so it's not something I ever focus on.
Well, they like to the drama streams.
Yeah, me, I only see this stream as an opportunity to promote our comic books and really to help other people promote. I really do enjoy other indie creators. It thrills me to have like Rick around and Lasmat and anybody who creates is just too cool.
I've had Terry on a lot of times. He's really talented as well.
You're trying to do what I do: build people up, not tear them down. Unfortunately,
you don't get as many. It's not as easy to get monetized and get super. Well, it gets super chats and stuff like that. Because these other channels, they grow their channel using drama, and then And I'm not saying any specific channel. I did mention some that are no longer around.
But I would be happy if our channel stays moderate. As long as the books get, like we're just now starting to see what I would call growth. Like we're starting to see the budding of, just being around for 3 years, you start getting known a little bit more. And we're so excited just to build this thing. Mm-hmm. Diana, I see you giggling away. Are you getting private messages?
No, I'm watching the chat in YouTube. Do you see what Timothy is putting? Beth first put 2 funky adjectives and a noun, and then Tim goes, "Thou spongy, tardy-gated flirt, gill, thou bellied shard bone back." I can't even.
I think maybe what that Shakespearean insult generator might do is just take a bunch of random words from Shakespeare plays, random insults, and combine them together. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
That's cool.
I'm guessing he found that website.
I'm not sure if he's doing, but they are very funny. I'm sorry.
Maybe he's creating them on the fly.
Yeah, those Shakespeare had so they used some good insults back then, and they kind of the insults have kind of gotten diluted over the centuries, I think.
Oh yeah, well, now it's all just
he did
bombs and cuss words and.
Well, it's just in American English especially, it's usually just like the F word repeated several times or something.
Well, nowadays, if you want to insult somebody or whatever, cancel them at the same time, you just call them the N word or the R word.
Yeah, that's what it's just like it's different in England though. They still have a lot of interesting insults and the British Isles.
So I want to touch on what Elasmat's saying here. He's I'm growing my channel organically. Channels that have tipped their toes in CG and capitalized on drama have grown their channels to 2K subs with 20 average live viewers. I'm still at 750 subs and gained 400 subs in the 3 years I've been in CG. That's good stuff, man. I don't know where we are. I don't think we've grown sub-wise. I came in with about 2,000 subs from our ministry. And like I've said before, those are mostly dead subs. Like even when we do God Chat, we don't usually see from these people. In fact, I keep hearing from them like in sprinkles. In fact, do you remember Nefertali, honey? You're muted, but yes, I saw you say I do. But I actually heard from him for the first time in years. So every week or so, we get a couple more people going, hey, you're back. Because really, we stopped doing videos for about, I don't know, a year or two. And I don't do any really God-centered videos now. We do the God Chat on Monday nights. But I used to do, topics. And I would just study, and then just blurt out information and start fights. And I was ridiculous.
Yes, believe it or not, Chris even started fights in our God Chat. Back then.
Well,
that was his thing.
I was still doing it a couple of years ago, even last year. I came into Twitter and started getting into fights, and then I just had to
you
change.
still get into fights on Twitter.
But that's not when your channel grew. Didn't you do different stuff on your channel before?
Well, the ministry stuff was what grew the channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when we first hit 500, and back then that was when you could get monetized, and it was exciting. And I had a couple of friends who also got monetized, and we were going to be Christian internet saviors of the world type. And
did you wear a baseball cap?
Yeah, actually, I did a lot of times.
That's what I like. It's like not every video, but I've seen a few of these. They're actually some of them are actually some pretty good channels, but it's become kind of almost a cliche for like the hip Christian guy with a baseball cap.
Yeah.
But that's like, I remember that was something like really different when I saw it back in the 1990s. But it seems like it's become like a uniform now.
Yeah, it really has.
And sometimes, and those hats do look good on some people, but I just.
Yeah, I'm just under like 700. I'm at about 680, and my channel hasn't really grown in a year. It's fluctuated between 680 and around 690.
It seems like you've got like a pretty hardcore, loyal group of people who tend to watch your show, and you'll get some other people in your chat as well. But it seems like you've got people who are like super fans who, I guess I think Dillard is a good example of somebody who I know I'm going to see. A lot of times I'm going to see Dillard in your chat.
So Beth, I want to just address what you put
on your show.
We do a God Chat on Monday night. I'll send you the link next time we do it, which would be
Monday nights
at 8:30.
Right.
And we get all kinds of people. Sometimes it's very quiet. We never have an agenda. It's his agenda, but you'll have to.
Well, usually I come up with something that I want to discuss. Whether or not we go that direction, like I'll announce it,
Right.
And sometimes nobody will want to talk about it and goes in one place. But sometimes we get into, just basic. A lot of times I just want to come in and go, okay, the world is screwed up. What do you guys think God's doing? What's going on? Because it's screwed
That's
up.
true.
It's
That is
really
true.
screwed up.
Uh-huh. We know.
Yeah.
We're there.
So
as
I mentioned
well.
Dillard, of course. Timothy's one of the main, but some of these people who are part of your chat are also part of your on air sometimes, right? With you, Rick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Timothy's on.
Yeah,
And John and
I've had asthma also on my channel.
yeah, that's actually how I found out about his was it a Road Warrior Drake? I've got the book. I just have a hard time because it used to have a longer title, I think, or I might have that wrong because he's been talking about this book for a couple of years, and
yeah, well, I think he might be on issue 2 or 3. So.
I think there was one called. I thought there was one that was like Street Champion Road Warrior Drake.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Maybe you just shortened the name.
I think there might actually be a revised edition. That might be what it was because I thought he was doing something with the grayscales and stuff. He must not be here because he'd tell us if
but he's also got a manga version. So I just got my book. I need to open it up and look at it. But I just received it. Was it today or yesterday? And I ordered the manga one as well, and that one looks that one looks really sharp from what he's seen on the screen. He's showing it off, and the manga is just really cool. Did he change
the artwork in it and stuff?
I think he altered it to be more. I don't know if I don't know. I think I might read from right to left. Not the English part because you can't really flip the English alphabet. But I think he made it like a traditional Japanese manga.
Oh, really? That'll be interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to reading that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do this.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to give Timothy a blue wrench.
You the 3 dots beside you got to go to the end.
I must not be logged into the right thing because when I hit those, it says pin. Oh wait. It's because I have my screen so big. I think.
Elasma says that a Street Champion Road Warrior Drake is the one I have. Excellent. Yeah, I just know I've seen like a couple different. I think you had a campaign before, right? And then I think I saw 2 different campaign pages. I get a little confused, but which was which, but. Didn't stop me from ordering the book.
Something's weird. I can't seem to
do what? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get to a point where I can give out a wrench.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, just go up on your chat somewhere and find him.
Let me try that. Yeah, this is weird.
I was going to be funny and say, honey, why don't you Google it? Because that's what he tells me all the time.
Some of the manga version was slightly altered to reflect the artwork in current manga. Well, that's really cool.
Say that again.
Some of the manga version was slightly altered to reflect the artwork in current manga.
Very cool.
Or as they say in Australia, manga.
I had to get something, sorry.
So what time tomorrow do you guys leave for?
We're leaving. We both get out of work around 3:34, and we are ready to go. I just have to put our luggage in and my little, of course I have to take snacks in my little snack bag. And
so
we're heading out.
So how long of a trip is it going to be for you guys to get there?
It's about a 2-hour drive. Maybe a little bit more with traffic because we are leaving during the rush hour. We need to check into the loading dock by 6.
Wait a minute, why are we leaving so late?
8. What do you mean?
Well, we could leave earlier than rush hour.
Well, you don't get out of work till 4, and I don't get home until 4. So
I'll get out earlier.
Oh, you can get out earlier. I can't. I have a client, so my client leaves at 3:30, and then I have to come home, and that's.
Do you want me to come like pull a fire alarm or anything?
No. Oh my gosh, Beth, do you hear him? Holy cow!
Oh, you're going to be at the gym?
Yes, I'm going to be at the gym, at the office,
Okay,
at the clinic. It really is a clinic.
Oh, now it's a clinic?
Well, it always has been a clinic, but we call it a gym because that's what the kids call it.
Is that like when I go to McDonald's and call it a restaurant?
No, nothing like that.
Timothy also had an idea.
Nothing like that, honey. Sorry.
About a joke.
Oh my gosh.
For a joke about what Chris's God had using the fight scene from Kings of New York.
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
I don't know if I read that properly.
I was so focused on getting Tim a wrench, I think I missed it.
You did miss it. That's what he was going. That's why
he funny.
He said, I wish I had a wrench.
About Road Warrior Drake reminds him of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then we're to Lasmat's comment.
Yeah, I'm just reading it. I had a campaign from September 2019 that Indiegogo prematurely shut down at the 30th day. A few months later, after reevaluating what worked and what didn't, relaunched the book with the longer title. Very cool. Yeah, we I don't know what we're gonna do about let's see.
So
I don't know where that link goes.
So that's not too long of a drive, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
No, it's not bad. It'll be fine. I'm excited about it. And we're staying right there at the casino. I got us a room 3 nights.
You've been talking about this for months. That sounds like something you're
I am so excited. You know why, Lorenzo? Let me tell you why. Yes, I'm excited because it's a Comic-Con and we get to show people our amazing books. But the biggest reason is my husband does not like going really many places. He's definitely a homebody. I do more going away with my friends and family than my husband does. So this is the first trip we've been on since our anniversary, which didn't go as well as I had hoped. And I'm really hoping this room he is gonna like. What is this? Who is?
I don't know. This is something Tim shared in the chat. Gangs of New York
fight scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was a crazy movie. I don't think you've seen it, honey.
Day.
Yeah, it used to get nasty. In fact, the funny thing about it was Diana and I met in the God chat, and the guy who sent her to my God chat, I used to argue with him like all the time. He was a Presbyterian? Reverend of some sort?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And anyways, I would say something totally off kilter, unorthodox, and bizarre, and we would fight for days, and then it would always end up in reconciliation, and just we were always friends, but we would get into these little debates. Like, I won't even tell you what they were because it just gets people aggravated to hear them. They were
was it like kind of splitting hairs over the theology or something?
Oh, sometimes it would just be splitting hairs, but other times, like I'd come in and go, I think that the Trinity is false, and this is why, and their heads would explode.
So what is the belief of your particular Messianic Jew? Because I know there's different.
Basically,
all sorts of Messianic Jews.
They have the weird perception that Jesus died for everybody, and so they're very much about salvation. From what I understand, and I'm saying it this way because it differs for every person, but the law is the law, but following it does not bring you salvation. So if I'm following a lawful commandment, it's because I love the Lord, not because I'm required to follow it.
I was wondering about like the Trinity. Would that vary depending on the congregation or the individual or the
it sure would because honestly our rabbi, and I'm going to claim him as ours because we always do, and I don't want to. But we believe that a Trinity is very limiting to an all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent God. So like when I look in the eyes of my fellow human being, I can see Christ in them. So like, I don't even deal with the Trinity thing, like, Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, amen. But I'm also not bound to like the restrictive, this is all God can be. He can't be taken outside this box. He can't, God can do whatever he wants,
So you don't like you don't like go into great detail and like defining like with the Nicene the Nicene
Yeah.
Creed goes into great detail, and some of them use this terminology that I don't understand.
Well, the more detail they get into it, the more sure that we're getting something wrong. So, and what I mean by that is God is so amazing and so big and so wonderful and so marvelous that when I hear someone with a mind that could fit inside a bread box start to explain all the intricacies of how he is what he is, I admire it. I appreciate it. I can even enjoy it. But I don't necessarily subscribe to it as like an authoritative, exhaustive explanation of God, So I can see the Trinity, but I also feel like that's kind of like just calling a waterfall wet. There's so much more to it than just being a wet,
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
well, I agree with some of what you're saying, and in some ways, it's God trying to, explain Himself to us in our limited capacity.
Well, and remember, the most important thing, Rick, is that we all must be convinced in our own hearts and minds.
Yeah.
So if you're lock stock, if you look at me and say you don't understand, it has to be this way, I'll just smile and say, amen, because that's how you understand them. And actually, I've been diehard Trinity before. I've been diehard anti-Trinity. Now I would just say amen, because it's like the big picture is that our Father loves us. He sent his son to die for us. And, anything else that we get into from human understanding, it can be really fruitful and great, but it can also tear a whole, the whole community apart if it's something that just, I don't know. We're people. We get stubborn. We like dig our tents and post our flags and hope that we don't have to die on them. But people will. They'll die for the craziest things.
Yeah. To answer Timothy's last question in the chat, from what I know, it comes from the concept of the Godhead, the Trinity. You won't find the word Trinity in the Bible, but you find the word Godhead, which is supposed to be synonymous. It's 2,000 years later. We gave it a nice, fancy another term.
Exactly.
And like the Son and the Father are obviously mentioned, and then the Holy Spirit's there. I think a lot of confusion comes in. Not really, and I don't know how to say this because I don't understand it fully myself, but when we look at the Trinity and we try to define him as just this, it can be so much more than what we understand. Like when the angels popped up in the Old Testament, I think it was, what was the name of the angel? It was the one that Israel fought. I think his name was Jacob. He became Israel. Remember, he wrestled him.
Yeah.
And they were mistaken as God at different points. In Revelation, the angel of Christ is mistaken as God. So it's really huge. So if God sends an angel to whisper in your ear a spiritual message, and you mistake that as the Holy Spirit, you're not in trouble. You're just confused. You know what I'm saying? It's like a messenger can come and we don't necessarily understand the messenger, but we can confuse him. Or her, I suppose, but I've never seen a female angel in the Bible. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, but the question there in the Bible, were they actually male angels either, or was it just the person's perception?
Well, I do believe they were perceived to be males, and it's even possible to say that they were projecting themselves that way because females really were treated as second-class citizens back then. It was a whole different social structure. So, like, if you were in an angel, would you show up as a girl that's already, downtrodden because of society, or would you show up as a man? It's, kind of obvious.
Oh, what were you saying, Diana?
No, I was going to say, we obviously missed our God chat Monday night, huh, guys? Yeah, we have all these great questions.
It only took a little bit to get right into it.
Instead of person, there's in Greek, it's called hypostasis. And it's like, I'm not even sure what that means. I mean,
Isn't that the
Great Orthodox Church?
Decepticons?
But I'm not.
That's not a Decepticon secret robot weapon or
It
something.
sounds like that. I mean, it's like there's a lot of like ideas that like that make somebody has to be like a theologian, I think, to understand and devote their entire life to understanding this. Really, but I don't know if that does that really make someone a better Christian if they.
No,
Maybe,
it doesn't. The thing is,
maybe they know a little bit about it, but yeah, if they just that's all they focus on.
All the knowledge will fall apart if there's not love in the heart. Like that's the biggest part. Can you really love your enemies? Can you love just people that aggravate you? I cannot unless I let the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, God the Father, whatever you want to call him, take over in my heart. And then it's amazing what kind of love bleeds out. Like there are people I cannot stand that I see on a regular basis and I have to deal with on a regular basis. And yet I love them to death because of something that God sparks in my heart when I see them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing because otherwise, without God, I just get crappy and then I treat them like crap. And, and I don't want to mention names, but I bet you Diana knows, the few people that I can think of that drive me crazy on a consistent basis. I see them day to day and I'm like, I smile and I deal with stuff and surprisingly I care.
I call them humans.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have to deal with humans every day.
That's
Bethany,
and as a green man, that offends me.
Yeah. Bethany just pointed out that she's dealing with generation millennials, the prosperity gospel church being entertainment and embracing the current culture, identity, politics. Bethany, I would love for you to come to Connecticut sometime with us to meet Rabbi Peter, because all that stuff you're talking about, he fixed. And I don't mean like he came in and gave us arguments to counter and told us how to fight. No. Once you hang around a guy in this sort of in this sort of harmony with God, like all that stuff just kind of becomes like incidental. Like it's like you just kind of get beyond all of that, and it's a beautiful, peaceful thing. And I'm not saying you can't find it without him. I'm just saying that's how we found it, by talking to this guy who helped us understand the scriptures, helped us open up the teachings that Diana and I were highly familiar with the Bible, having read it, dozens of times, leading Bible studies, going through ministry, but it didn't come to life till I had the right teacher.
Right.
And then there's also the issue with like conservative identity politics, and so I've dealt with that as well with like, and I actually, as far as like, oh gosh, getting the whole nobody, as they've said before, everybody's got their own definition of Comicsgate, I think. But, there's some people who get really, they can.
I think he lost.
They can act like they can get really into some sort of other type of identity politics where they're anti-SJWs and that, and they can make their identity around there. And that can be, whereas I do like the part of Comicsgate where, it's like, we shouldn't have like just heavy-handed, like woke politics and beating people over the head with, message. That's just poor writing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have some good customer service. I agree with, if that's what Comicsgate is, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's just that I've seen a lot of this and I was kind of I've been an anti-SJW myself, but against this identity politics. But if I take that on as my identity, then I'm engaging in identity politics as well.
Well, the thing about it, and I don't know how Rick feels about this or any other creator, I just want to make my books. So when they get into all this drama and SJW stuff, I just want to make a better book. Like I won't necessarily have SJW stuff ever in my book, but I won't avoid those topics either. And the thing is, if you run into a topic like that, you just have to write it as a proper writer, and reflect your worldview on it as opposed to the woke, this is the politically correct way to handle this topic when it comes up in your story. So you must do this, you must do that. We don't check boxes here. We don't have an agenda. But if it comes up too, I'm going to handle all of those things.
Well, you want to know something? I do admit I have a bit of agenda. First of all, I want to make myself some money. Second of all, I'm up front. Mine is Christian, so I do want to present people with the gospel and teach people about Christianity through it. I'm not going to be saying I'm not doing that. I am.
Right.
What I like, Rick, though, is go ahead.
But and maybe sometimes I'll be really in your face about it. But I'm going to also try not to be in your face. In your face about it, because most people want a comic that they can read without being preached at.
And you don't seem to be preaching as far as like it doesn't seem like you're trying to beat people over the head with being against this whole woke stuff or whatever. It seems like you're, because that that's the problem, is that a lot of it seems kind of, people can, I know I myself, I'll just speak for myself, I can get very reactionary and I can get worked up about that. I don't see you just like just complaining each and every show about things you don't like. You seem to talk about things that you actually seem to enjoy and find interesting. And
the thing about woke,
things you're creating,
I think woke deserves to exist. It just doesn't deserve to cancel everybody else. I think it ought to be an open market.
Excuse me.
Hey,
can you?
How are you?
I'm good, but
you sound great.
Can you give me a and I know you guys are gonna laugh, but what I hear woke all the time. What is woke? Like, not woke.
That's the funny thing
I would define woke. I'll define it and then give everybody else a shot at it. But woke is essentially anything that will bring down white people, specifically white men. So in other words, you lift up women, you lift up minorities, you blame the white man for everything, and you give any minority or any group that's marginalized a safe space. That's my definition of it. I don't know how it varies with everybody else.
Yeah, I was going to say the more extreme form will interpret this equity thing, making everything, which trying to, let's say somebody's got maybe somebody's a little bit short, well, just give maybe they give them like a little stand to stand on, and then they can be at the podium and be an even height. That's how it's marketed as being, it's like,
right.
Let's just lift this person, make people a little more equal. But
Timothy did grab a definition from somewhere on the internet. If you want to read his.
Yeah, but I was just going to say,
saying learning to pronounce verb past, wake, alert to injustice in society, especially racism. We need to stay angry, stay woke. And sort of, I guess, an enlightenment. You're enlightened because you can see that you're racist. You're not racist.
The term is like the term instead of like enlightened, like in Buddhism, they actually say awakened. And I think that's what the term woke kind of means.
Yeah.
And, and it's sort of, but not, it's not really Buddhist, but, anyway, it's kind of a similar concept. But my thing is, it sounds good in, in theory. Let's somebody's got some sort of, maybe, some sort of disability, maybe like help them so that they can go and, accommodate them. Yeah, that's, or economic disadvantage. That's I think a great idea when possible, but in practice, it's the extremists at least will take it and say, well, you because you're white or male or whatever, cisgender or heterosexual or whatever, you've got this advantage, and then we've got to go and then push you down so that the other person can be, so these a minority can be elevated, instead of trying to. So it's going about it like the wrong way, I think.
All right, so let me see if I got this correct. So woke supposedly is talking about everybody should be equal.
Yeah,
right. But
equity is the term they use.
Equality. Yeah. It's about social equality. Justice. But the measures that they use for that is on race, physical attributes, monetary attributes, status attributes, the whole 9 yards. So it's definitely a human sort of philosophy. Why can't we just look at it from the eyes of God, and who loves each and every one of us equally? We got the equality in there, right? So why do we have to get all complicated with these crazy words? And you know what, Beth, I haven't gone to a mainstream church in years, but I'm watching what what she's writing. And it's sad that it's a huge divider in the church.
It's actually you hear sermons about BLM, and which is actually worth talking about, but Black Lives Matter,
white lives, yellow lives, green lives. Everybody's life matters. I don't care.
Well, if you say that, then they're considered racist. If you say all lives matter, it's supposed to be only Black Lives Matter, Native life, But if you say all lives matter, then people get offended.
No. See, it is only supposed to be Black Lives Matter.
Isn't that crazy?
Because no other lives matter. It's just Black lives that matter.
Except for
yes, Timothy, I am.
Lives Matter signs too
well, guys, remember when you say all, the main problem is when you say all lives matter.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You're lifting white people, and I'm not saying this. I don't want to make it about race, but really, when you say all lives matter, it was kind of a chop on the cops too. They're saying cop lives don't matter as much as black lives, and they're saying essentially that white lives don't matter as much, because the whole thing about equity is they don't want to give the minorities a stool up. They want to knock the white person down.
That's how I was trying to phrase it, is giving people a stool up. That's great. I believe in that. That's
right.
The kind of, instead of just like somebody's in a wheelchair, if you can, it'd be great to put in a ramp, but just leaving that person outside, and not providing accommodations when you can, that's kind of a crummy thing.
Yep.
But say, just chopping off everybody's legs so that you can't walk. That seems to be the metaphorically what's going on.
Yeah, there was that meme going around of the three people at the fence. And the problem I really had was they're not interested in lifting minorities up to whatever status they think white people have.
Yeah.
They're interested in bringing the white people down. Because they don't think, I'm going to say bluntly, they don't even think a black person can figure out how to get an ID in Washington, D.C. And it's like, what are you talking about? We all have IDs. We had to get IDs. Black people are not stupid. They know how to get IDs, people know how to use a copy machine. These are arguments they used against voting laws, saying that they were restrictive against race.
The only place I found out that could be confusing is so let's say it's on a place like the reservation. I guess there are some reservations where the land isn't marked off
Well, the Indians I can understand a lot more, because they really are kind of screwed the way that we on reservations.
I don't know if the land, and I don't want to make any pronouncements about this is definitely how things work, but I thought maybe some of the reservations might own communally owned land, or is a different concept of land. I don't know how it works, or maybe it's just that it was mapped out, on this one particular reservation in a way that's really confusing. So
that's a good point, Beth.
Are you looking at the MLK thing too?
No, I'm looking at the last thing. Not to forget that minorities that speak against wokeism and CRT are silenced and censored.
That's true.
The unfortunate thing too, a lot of these people that are trying to speak up for these minorities aren't even the minorities themselves. It's some white person, some white group that's thinking that they're, speaking up for them. It's 90% of white people in the group, speaking up.
I think it's 3%. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's 3% of Hispanics who use the word Latinx.
That one's a bad one.
The term I've heard before that we used to hear when I was maybe in high school or whatever was Latin. and that's already gender neutral, I thought. But
well, the whole thing is that whole Latinx is supposed to be you can't guess the gender from the word.
But
the
you
Latin,
can't from the word Latin.
The Latin people are like, the Spanish people are like, what are you calling me that for? I don't want to be called Latinx.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. How do you even pronounce that in Spanish?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that X sound? It's
Latino X.
But
I don't know. I never even heard it before.
Oh yeah, it's woke terminology.
But yeah, it's not actually used by most Hispanic. It's used by like 3% of Hispanics, according to. Well, it's just according to one poll. Maybe they're.
I was gonna say according to one poll, right?
Yeah. No, who knows? Maybe some other poll says it's, because maybe say it's more or even less.
All I know is I don't know a single Spanish guy or lady who goes using it. So, and anybody I've talked to that's Spanish has always been like, I don't get what the heck it is either. I mean, they know what it is, but they don't understand why it's, being projected when it's not their fight. It's not what they want.
Timothy says that sounds like a Hispanic X-Men.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
There you go, comic book creators.
I see Bethany said CRT, so that's something Diana's not going to get. Because if you don't know this whole woke terminology, I think that's critical race theory.
Yeah, I don't even understand.
Critical theory is really I don't know. I don't quite completely understand it.
That's so crazy.
Well, apparently there's a very good academical.
Well,
I think there's a good academical theory behind it, but it's not applicable in the way that they're doing it in public education, if you will. Not necessarily speaking schools, but the general train of thought that's being fed out to the public. Yeah. Like Coca-Cola teaching people to be less white.
Yeah. Leon Kurz. Yeah, the whiteness is like.
How do you be
like more of a concept?
Wait.
Diana, you must disown your whiteness.
What?
Yes, that's
it's basically a term used for. Was it a whole slew of things that are associated with
do that?
Well, a lot of things they associate with
white culture or something.
Well, yeah, like working hard. Working long and hard is actually one of the things they say is white.
American and Hispanic populations that work very hard as well.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it? You admit you're racist when you don't believe you are.
Yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah. You have to recognize privilege that for someone who's been a poor white boy all his life, I may not have been followed around the store because people thought I was going to shoplift, but ain't none of them doing me any favors. It's not like if there's no minorities around, they go, hey, white kid, take whatever you want because you're white.
But you not being followed around the store would be considered white privilege.
Yeah,
yes, I know, but it might also be that I look like someone who doesn't steal. Maybe I didn't go in, dressed like a thug. Maybe I didn't go in with a heavy metal T-shirt that said, turn away and I'm going to steal your stuff. There's a certain image that we give off too. And I'm not saying blacks don't get followed just for being black, because that's true. But whites can be followed and whites aren't. Privilege to me would be like if we were alone in a store and we're white, the guy would go, hey, you're white? You get 20% off everything. Yeah, but don't tell the black guy. That would be privilege,
Right.
The last man has something about white man's burden.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I haven't had any breaks because I'm white. And the thing is, in stores as well, I haven't been followed, but I know a few times I've been watched because I didn't always dress, suit and tie and all that. I dressed, however I want, and sometimes it was very punkish or whatever. And I had the long hair and all that, so that makes you suspicious of people with white people with long hair, just as much as maybe a black man, just prejudice. Maybe it's not prejudice, but bias or whatever. You know what I mean? They have stereotypes. They have stereotypes.
I think people think too much. I
just want to comment on what I have on the screen right now. Okay. And I'm sure Lasmat feels the same way. I just want to make sure that I say this too. I freaking hate that, man. I understand that you can find people in any race that are slow to learn, academically behind or whatnot. but some of the brightest damn people I've ever met have been black. The whole idea that your skin color is going to hold you back is so. I maybe I grew up too much in the Martin Luther King era, but that just it baffles my mind.
I know.
And again, really, that plays into sort of with what Asmat was saying. Is a lot of this ends up playing into the evolutionary thing that there's different quote unquote steps in evolution, racism. That's part of evolution.
Well, there people did like if they were in I think it was like certain climates, like maybe where it was you didn't get if somebody didn't get as much sunlight in the winter, maybe if it was like was the deals up north, and so people who were in those climates and Europe will end up losing their skin pigmentation or something, or though I guess there's some Iranians or people of like Persian ancestry who might have light skin as well. So,
well, I mean, I think that's definitely possible. We look at stuff and we think we understand why things are the way we are, why they are the way they are. All I know is that if I'm like suffering some sort of medical emergency where I need blood or I need organs, so long as our blood type matches, and there are multiple blood types, we can trade out organs like we're computers with PCI cards. It doesn't matter. And that's really like that's the bottom line to me. I look at it and I'm like, okay, the same medicines are going to work on you that work on me. And if I'm going to say it again, blood type's the only thing that keeps you.
I think there is some issues though. I think if you're maybe certain regions of the world might be more likely to have a certain types of blood type or.
Well, but that's genetic.
That's well, there are genetic differences depending on. In different regions of the world tend to have more.
But here's one for you guys. I don't care what color person you are, what ethnicity,
I know where you're going.
What culture. I don't care. When you bleed, it's all the flipping same thing. It's all the same color.
That's right. We all have blue blood, and damn it, enough of this.
Well, and there's the thing too. At least for Christians, we can all go back to Adam and Eve and say we all, as humans, go back to Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So
who were green lizard men. They were green lizard men.
So we are just one race. It's called human. We come in, different colors. It's like you're not gonna say. I'm not sure what the first two cows would have been called. You're not gonna say because a different cow is a different color that it's no longer a cow.
Right.
I did say
white cows and black cows and mixed. They're all cows, no matter what.
I did say something racist. Well, I guess I did say something incredibly racist against humans, but there were I guess the ancient Altrusians weren't green. They were more brownish, like kind of goldish brown colored.
That's true.
So I don't want to forget about my ancestors.
I have documentation of that, a little bit of it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I heard you got a video that goes along with it.
Do you really?
Well, I thought you did. I
do. I didn't know if you had another one.
Oh, second one?
About you, Chris.
No, I didn't know if you made one or something.
Oh no,
no, he's talking about.
I'm on a Chromebook.
Video. Yeah. There you go.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's an ancient intrusion. I'm a little more like the intrusions than.
There you go. So, can you explain to Bethany what we're talking about? Because she's probably going, Lorenzo, what?
This was the video
it's
I
good
made
to see some representation.
Yes, there you go. We wanted to make sure your kind were included.
Who's that, Bill Gates?
Oh, that's always brings a smile to my face when well, thank you so much for making that. It always makes the Croft brothers did an excellent job with
Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah, representing my homeland.
Well, with the budget they have to pull, to pull that off was really cool.
No, I think they disowned the movie, but some people said it was pretty entertaining. So maybe it's just a little less historically accurate. I don't know. But apparently they weren't his consulted. Well, they were consulted.
I do not know them. I do not know the way to your world. Now see what you've done?
Oh my God, Chris.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I only knew how to come to your world as a cartoon character.
Now, you say get back on topic, Chris. What is the topic?
The topic was
I'm laughing at Beth. Listen, stop for a second. Beth is like lizard people that live in the Earth's core, right?
Well, we live in caves, not the Earth's core. That's a.
This is the first time she's on our show, so she doesn't know Lorenzo is.
Oh wait! I know what happened in one of the Land of the Lost shows. They fall down a waterfall. The humans fall down a waterfall.
Hi, Jazz Crab. Welcome.
Oh, hey,
Jazz Crab, what's up? Okay, I was looking for the song.
Is this the '90s version?
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
That's not real dad. That's fake dad. These guys don't even show up at conventions as second-rate stars.
But yeah, they have different. There's some different races of slee stacks than I'm familiar with that are in the '90s version. But it was the Croft brothers, and they seem to have done their research. So
you know, there's plenty of food around, but most of it's strange and unfamiliar to us.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, see, this is more like what I remember. But I was a hatchling when I left the Land of the Lost.
I'm trying to find the opening. I don't know if I missed it or something. Yeah, I must have missed it. Now it's way beyond it. Yeah. But I wanted the song, Land of the Lost. That one.
Okay. Well, not that I don't enjoy this, but you guys do realize it's almost 10:30, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, Stu's actually coming to town tomorrow, and I got to figure out how to change myself into human form, and that's something I haven't really been able to master all these years in the human realm. I got to figure this out. I've got to figure this out before he shows up tomorrow. So
Soy Rage is here.
So I'm not just a cartoon character.
Yo.
Oh, hey.
Kev. No, wait. Kevin is his wife, right? I don't know.
Is that the real Soy Rage?
It might not be, but I've never been visited by a fake Soy Rage.
Hello.
That's the real one. What's up, brother?
Yes. All right.
I gotta change. I gotta figure out how to change myself into a human.
Oh,
because I heard Stu's coming tomorrow.
Yes. Well, yeah. I heard it too. The boss is coming up there to see you, Lorenzo. We're gonna have a slee stacking party.
That'll be awesome.
Yes.
Oh man, and we're stuck in Connecticut.
Yeah, there's a comic book convention sometime. I don't know if they're having that this year. I guess I talked about that before.
Yeah. Well, hey,
in TC, Terror City.
We got to do something here because if Stu is here, we got to ask how Super Asian Fun Toy is doing, man.
Oh, he's doing good. I swear to God, there's this a fast food franchise that the boss is actually in talks with. 800 locations.
Oh man.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes, you're gonna see my face on burgers, folks. Yes.
I think that would be fun. I really do.
Something else? It's not as big as Mickey D's, but it's something. 800 locations. He's gonna start doing that if everything works out good. Then we're working on making creepsters with Nasser. Have you heard about that?
You guys are gonna end up on Netflix as a series.
So is this? This is a different thing than his current project with Jason or Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. This is going to be his next project. After Secret Comics Presents is done, he's going to go full bore into creepsters.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, so when are you guys streaming? Because I don't see you guys ever since, I don't know what happened to Trash Compactor, but I don't see that pop up anymore. So
that's done.
Where do we find you on a regular basis, man?
I'm like a nomad now. I just go from stream to stream.
Yeah,
So
I'd like to stream with you too. Well, we are streaming right now, but I'd like to start getting the Sleestackians going again.
So many people have wanted me on their shows, but it's like, I'm a shift worker, and that was one of the big things they all bitched about on the trash compactor. I was like, you know what? Don't wait for me. Have your shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If I show up, I can show up. Don't wait for me to get out of work. Because I work a shift. I'm a shift worker.
Well,
so,
you might be a little too popular, so like sometime in the future, you could probably take this little internet thing a little further because you are charismatic. You do draw a crowd.
Stop it! Give me more.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're a bit shifty.
Yes, little shifty. Yes. Oh, Timothy Olson's in the chat. Timmy, I love your Melvin. It's great. You did a great book. Keep it going, Tim. Keep it going. Keep your Melvin going. That's all I got to say is like you're creating something. You're going to have something that'll last long time after you're gone. That's what Chris, he has something to show his grandkids, and his grandkids can show their kids. It's like Grandpapa made this book for us,
What am I missing?
I'm hoping that the grandkids will know enough to make better books.
Exactly.
It's all about inspiration. Honey, what were you missing?
I had to step away. I had to flip the laundry. I apologize.
Oh man, you missed
Hello,
it.
Soy Rage. What's up?
Hello.
Did you hear about his fast food franchise deal?
No.
Maybe. Yeah, he's working on a deal.
The boss is in talks with a fast food representative for 800 locations doing the Happy Meal toys.
What?
Yes, can you believe it?
Raging Fun toy.
Yep, he's in talks. He can make so many different things.
That's
so
awesome.
they're like, well, yeah, if you can do your own IP stuff, and sell it out, we can put them in our Happy Meals, and he's working on it right now.
Now, Diana, do you know who this is?
I have no clue. I've seen the name, and I kind of know. Don't you make those toys, those like fun toys?
Yeah, Super Asia Fun Toy is the name of his company. EBS knows who he is. He's friends with EBS. He makes stuff for him. It's like it's a great little company. The guy started out, just wanted to have fun. This was the Super Asia Fun Toy a campaign it's basically just a joke to say, hey, I'm here. This is my giving back to Comicsgate, saying because he wanted to make this stuff for everybody. This is just him putting his foot in the water to see if he can make these toys, and it worked. So he's branching out.
Well, I want to let you know that I talk about you quite frequently because I think that you're brilliant when it comes to crowdfunding.
Yeah,
and I've told Diana that we like anytime we talk about crowdfunding, I said, oh, we ought to talk to Soy Rage. And she says, well, who's that? And I'm going, you don't remember him? Hey,
I know it.
Yes.
I know the name, but I'm not familiar. Forgive me.
Well, running my own 3 campaigns that I've run, I've learned so much on how to structure a campaign, how to make it look desirable to people, and I learned all the little tips and tricks, of Indiegogo, how to alter the algorithm to make your campaigns come up number 1. Like if you search Comicsgate on Indiegogo, the number 1 result is going to be the Super Asia Fun Toy. No matter who else has Comicsgate in their campaign, Super Asia Fun Toy is going to be number 1 because I figured it out.
You're very smart.
You figured that out didn't you figure that out with the first wristband one?
Yes.
Well, and that's honestly, I so lack all of that. To me, when you say the word algorithms, I start to have little mini panic attacks inside. I'm like, oh my God, that's a math thing. Oh my God. I just freak out. I have to really, my job right now, I'm full-time, but starting in September, I'll be going 25 hours a week so I can focus on learning how to do these kinds of things to market Hero Shack way better than we don't even market.
Our goal is to learn how to do it good enough so that I don't have to shave my hair next time it's long.
Yeah.
Isn't an algorithm kind of like a paramecium?
Oh.
And like a cousin to the hypostasis that we were talking about?
It's all about mitosis.
Oh my God. No. Stop, all of you. Now I'm like, oh my.
I'm going to
No,
be
I think
checking
an
your
algorithm
notebook.
isn't an algorithm some sort of like computer program
Yes,
that
yes, it is. It
makes
basically is a
predictions about
language
what
to-
people will like, or
Yeah, it's like
maybe that's one kind of algorithm. I think.
Basically, what you got to do is you got to use certain keywords in certain areas.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah, yeah.
Indiegogo looks at what the perks are that people
Right.
are taking. You know,
Uh-huh.
and that's what they use to bump up the stuff into the search results. It's all about the perks.
Right.
You know, you could put anything you want into the campaign, into the details and that, but
Yeah.
Indiegogo is focusing on what the people are actually buying and clicking on. You know.
Yes, it is
So-
definitely. It's a whole marketing thing, and I'm loosely aware of all of that, but I've never sat down to really analyze and figure it out just yet. It's
Well, I found it all out by accident.
oh my God.
Well, you're well appreciated, and we consider you
Thank
brilliant.
you. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, please stop. Give me more.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to learning more about this stuff because I've been pretty fascinated with Indiegogo because it's kind of become like, for a while there, that was like the only thing that somebody could use in Comicsgate without being kind of, well, it still is kind of.
Well, I have a question.
You can get,
Yes,
go
honey.
ahead.
Well, I'll wait. Well, what is the like? Okay, Soy Rage, this is directed to you because you seem to be the all-knowing when it comes to this. Indiegogo versus Kickstarter. Give me your take on that. Like, what
Okay,
is the
I have bought on both platforms.
Okay.
I have bought stuff. I'm a customer on both platforms, but I'm only a creator on Indiegogo so far. I've never ran a Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
But I can tell you what the differences are, the pluses and minuses of being a customer versus both platforms. So Kickstarter has a great thing. It's called a tracker, where you can actually click on if you received your perks, your items, or not. And you can rate them like a sad face, an okay face, or a happy face.
Right.
And you can keep track of everything you backed. Everything is in like a spreadsheet, and you can actually give feedback to into Kickstarter directly how you feel about that campaign.
Right.
I love that. Indiegogo needs to do that. Because we got these pages and pages of backing things that we've got to go through to look through what we've got, what we didn't. We got to remember what we got, and it gets so difficult, you know.
Yep.
And then, okay, here's the thing that Kickstarter does that Indiegogo doesn't do. Kickstarter, you can only alter your pledge. You can't be another backer. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you can't alter your numbers.
So it's not like one person can back Liam's campaign 7 times.
Exactly. You know, on my Koozie
or whatever
campaign,
the number was that certain creators.
Right. So you can pad your numbers, and the fact is, if people see a lot of backers, it makes them more likely to back because they're like, well, how
it just
can
kind of builds confidence, you know? It's like,
Right.
yeah, like say if you
these
got a buddy
people-
that want your shit, you know, they can like back you 10 times. You know, that happened to me on one of my campaigns. Look at my numbers. You know, I don't have 100 people buying pairs of socks. You know, I maybe have like 50. Like one guy buys 10. Like 10 people
did you
buy
discover
like
that by
2 pairs.
mistake too?
But
Well, one thing I did discover by mistake is you can back your own campaign, and then when they give you the money after it's closed, they refund you that money, but they only keep the transaction fee. So you can actually
crazy.
you can fund your own campaign and make it go over the top and make it look like you're fully funded by just putting your own money into it. And the only thing you get penalized in is the pennies.
Fee. Yeah.
Yep, the fee.
Geez, you'd never fill a campaign then.
You will never not fulfill if you just put your own money into it. You can make it look like a success.
Well, somebody could say make it look like it's 6 figures or whatever they want, right? If they
Yes,
if
they
have
could.
if they have the money to put in there and then take it back later.
Yep, because you get that money right back. What's that cost?
So
I was just gonna say probably the reason the difference is for the numbers in Indiegogo versus Kickstarter is because Kickstarter takes your money once the campaign's over, where Indiegogo takes it right away. So, that's why you probably can't, alter your thing for Indiegogo versus Kickstarter.
That's a good point.
That gives you, Kickstarter taking it afterwards gives you time to alter your thing. And
The only disadvantage from in a way, a big advantage from a consumer standpoint. The only problem I don't like about that with Indiegogo is, with Kickstarter is, with Indiegogo, I think the day that I actually back the campaign, they take the money, which would be a bad thing, except for sometimes I might have money that day, but I might not have it, later on in the month.
Yeah, there's a benefit to instantly being charged sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about
I'm a little more used to how Indiegogo operates, and I have to kind of
I
navigate around Kickstarter.
I personally do like being the money taken right away, because then I don't have to remember to make sure to have that money free and
when
30.
No, I've heard the advantage though with Kickstarter is, I think if a campaign doesn't fund, I don't think the creator even sees one's finance, your credit card info or whatever, because if it doesn't fund, so that could be So, in a lot of ways, Kickstarter's doing a better job protecting the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
I do have to tell you, I like the challenge of a Kickstarter, and I didn't know Indiegogo could be fake, so I liked Indiegogo too. But I love the challenge of getting a crowdfunder funded, especially when you're putting out a book that isn't quite Marvel or DC. It's a challenge to work that sales, and. Yeah. It's all going to pay off in the long run, the knowledge and the experience.
And let me ask you, as a creator on Kickstarter, you ran your Cyclopean on Kickstarter, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did you see a different people backing your book than have backed it on Indiegogo?
Diana?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you know why that is?
Well, in all fairness, the Indiegogo was cluster fudge, and we went on to the trash compactor show. So we got a lot of people. That was the haircut thing.
Yeah, of course.
So we got a lot of people that backed because of that show that probably would have never even looked at us once. So I feel like that was a little padded. That wasn't genuine. So the Kickstarter, this is like our second or third Kickstarter.
I think it's the third.
The third. And we have had some repeat customers, which is very exciting, as you know, as creators. So yeah, it's hard to compare, because the Indiegogo was, we were on the show, we did a kind of a gimmicky thing to get the funding.
Well, let me tell you why you see the different names, because people use Kickstarter as like a store. They actually go in and browse. Kickstarter is great for that. That's what I do. When I'm a customer and I'm sitting at the computer, I'm like, I want to back a book. I'm going to find something.
Okay.
So I go on to Kickstarter and I just start perusing. I look at all the different stuff and I'm like, okay, this looks neat. I don't have to say, okay, there's too much. I don't want to say creator. What's the term I'm looking for? Where they just back it because of a creator. There's none of that.
Right. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know these people's platforms. You don't know these people's YouTubes or anything.
It's not a personality called.
Yeah, you're basing it on what you're seeing on Kickstarter. Yeah. Okay. So that's what people use that as like a window shopping. They browse that constantly.
Okay.
And that's what I think.
Really good to know.
Yep, and that's why people Indiegogo, you have to be directed to Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is like a store that you actually go into.
Well,
I see what you're saying. Like, there's no real browse feature in Indiegogo like Kickstarter has.
Yeah, because there is sort of, but it's so convoluted on Indiegogo because you got campaigns that are closed, campaigns that it's too jumbled.
Right.
There's a lot of campaigns that end up in demand, like a lot of comic book campaigns that they might end up there for months on end. I'm not singling out anyone in particular. And just I don't think you can do that with Kickstarter.
No,
I know there is backer kit though, but I don't know exactly.
True backer kit. Let me tell you what I like doing. You know, it's like sniping on eBay. Do you guys know what sniping on eBay is?
Not at all.
I do.
Okay, it's like when you got the last like 10 seconds and you put in a bid and you snipe the person. Okay, you can do that on Kickstarter by searching time ending soonest. Like if you got a campaign that's only like 10 hours away or 4 hours away to be being done, you can go look at those ones and see what gives you the most value for your money. Like you can say, okay, time ending soonest. You click on that and it sorts them all for you. Which one's going to end the quickest? So you can look and see, okay, this one's funded at like $20,000. How many stretch goals is this unlocked? Well, look I get all this stuff added on if I back this book at $10.
Oh.
I love doing that. I found this book that it's only a $10 book with $5 shipping. And it turned into a hardcover book with a whole bunch of stuff on it just because it hit all of its stretch goals.
Wow.
You know, you got to go do that. You got to be a smart shopper sometimes.
Right.
I never even thought of that.
You know what? And see, I'm learning so much because I say this all the time. You guys that are here regularly must get tired of me. But I am learning so much because before we even, I didn't even knew what a Kickstarter was. Good Lord, never mind putting up a book.
She's like, I had a motorcycle with a Kickstarter once.
Yes. I had a lawnmower.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, I don't typically go to Kickstarter to shop, but I think it's important to also be a customer. So as you're saying so wonderfully, because then you get to learn what customers like. And that's part of the whole marketing thing. Like I've never used Kickstarter as a customer just to kind of like scroll down. It's like, all right, we got a campaign coming up. Let's put it up. Make sure we got this, that, and everything else. And that's it. Whereas what I'm hearing from you is like, as a customer, you learn how to shop on it. And therefore you're going to see different types of strategies that other people are using.
Well, I've bought several books now, and I've never thought about trying to catch them with the most stretch goals. That's genius.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, you know, it's getting the most bang for your buck.
Yep. That's awesome. That's
so when are you going to go into business management?
I have a regular job. I'm making stuff so you guys can like eat and you can get your vaccines. That's what I make a chemical you guys eat every day and you don't even know it. That's my real job. Yeah.
So you're like a chemist, a food chemist kind of thing.
Basically, you know what Clark Griswold does on those family vacation movies? He does the food additives and preservatives. That's basically what I do. That's me. I'm Clark Griswold. Yeah.
So listen, so that tells me a lot about you because you're a super smart guy, and now I know why you figured all this out because you're very analytical. You know how to look at this stuff, and it makes sense to you. I, on the other hand, I like to sew. I like to color for fun. I hate math.
In her defense, I put her in a lot of tough situations where I totally spurg out and go, well, that's it. I don't know what to do. And she goes, here, let me tie your shoes. It's okay. But she keeps the whole business like functional. Like we just went legal recently. We got all our corporate stuff done. And that was all because of her. I never would have bothered with it. Like I was just going to keep just making books.
Now the pressure is real because, as you know, once you become an LLC, there's taxes, there's all kinds of stuff. My biggest, right now, my biggest weakness is my marketing, my ability to market. And like you were just talking, like really understand these crowdfunding, really looking at all that analytical stuff. That's not anything I've ever had to do before. So it's literally a huge learning curve for me. And I'm very slow and learning.
You don't sell yourself short. Just be a customer. Just go in and look. Start clicking.
You think about how successful the sleeve sticks are. They're very slow moving creatures.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Just get in there, start clicking around, see all the stuff you can do.
Yep.
You know, that's how I learned. I didn't know. See, I was part of the war campaign, as you guys might have known way back in the day. CG only, brother. CG only, Indiegogo only. Yes,
Yeah,
you know.
I've heard of all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like IGG only now. That's what I'm seeing everybody say. I'm like, you know, you guys are like you're boxing yourself into a corner because there's so much different things on Indiegogo that you guys are missing. I mean, on Kickstarter that you guys are missing out on because you're boxing yourself into a corner, saying, "I'm only going to look at this. I'm only going to look at this." This platform because the rest of them are SJWs. Blah, blah, blah. You know, some of them, a lot of the people don't give a crap.
Well, I was just going to say, I could care less who, what, whatever. That doesn't even I don't think on those terms. Like, I don't care if they're woke, if they're whatever.
You don't even know what woke is.
I don't even know what half of the stuff is that people get up there in arms about. I'm like, dude, just take a chill pill. Life is hard enough. What is going on with these crazy humans? I swear to God, right?
Everybody's money spends just as easily as everybody else's money.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't go there because they stand for something I don't believe in. I'm like, get off your horse and just buy the darn thing if you like.
Well, the biggest problem I have with stuff like that is
you're like that, Christopher.
Well, we need to realize that everything is kind of woke. Like, it's not just one or two companies; it's everywhere. So,
they don't really believe in it, though.
No, some don't, some do. I mean, it's mixed.
But
it's like every company changes their logo, and for 1 month out of the year, they change their logo. Whoop-de-doo, you know.
Yeah. It's I remember on Juneteenth, Disney was getting a flack from some of their black customers over. They were making a big deal over their first black Disney princess who's spends several minutes apparently in the movie being turned into a frog. I think she spent 20 minutes or something. I think that was a complaint, and it's like
yeah, and every time you charge something on your credit card, that goes to a company that and then what you're actually buying with that credit card, you buy a Coke. Well, they're doing the whole white, the whole thing about be less white, whatever.
I just heard about that. Be less white. I'm like, how do you do that?
So the money that you're paying for that Coke, charging on your credit card, is going to the Coke company, the credit card company, the PayPal company. It don't matter. We have no control.
Of course not.
So if somebody listens to Barry Manilow, does that make them more white?
I used to like Barry Manilow.
Well, that's what I'm asking. He's a good singer.
Yes. Her name was Lola. Yeah. She was a showgirl. Yes.
Exactly. It was one of my favorite songs. But here's the thing: it's for me personally, I don't get caught up in any of that nonsense. If I want to do something, if I like something, I'm going to do it. Look at Chris's. What are you giving me that stink eye for? Look at him. What?
No stink eye. No, you know what it is?
It's just his normal look when you talk.
Yes, I know.
No, I'm getting tired because it's almost 11 o'clock and I'm an old man now.
Oh, yeah, it's 11. I just got home from work.
Listen, I have to go pack for our big, we're going to be at the TERRIFICON. I didn't know if you know that.
Oh, tell us about it.
Yes. So we are heading out. We are heading out tomorrow evening, right after work. There we are. You can see me now. We are heading out tomorrow after evening, about 4:35 to head to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Yes.
We are going to be vendors at the TERRIFICON and Artist Alley. I'm super excited. It's our first Comic-Con in about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. It's the biggest one that we have attended. Or will be attending.
I think so. I think it's bigger than the Granite State.
We went to Granite State and we went to the Garden State one in, way back when. I think this is a little bit bigger than those.
Well, if nothing else, we're bigger.
Yes, and we've had 3 years now of doing the comic book stuff. And
are you guys in the Artist Alley or where?
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be in the Artist Alley for sure.
Okay.
We've done Artist Alley and we've gone with the vendors, and really, the Artist Alley is much more fun for us because I get to geek out with all. I see people who have been printed big, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's Joe Staten!" and go hug the guy, that kind of crap.
Yeah, we have to put a little ring
yeah,
on.
it kills your time, because you got some lulls, you know, when there's no customers. So you go chit chat with the other creators, you know.
That's Chris's job. I usually stay at the table because here's the thing. When I have to go, like, honey, I'm going to be back. I got to go to the bathroom, or I'm going to go grab a drink. I'm going to go get a snack. He gives things away.
Well, yeah,
everything away. No. He gives so many things away. Look at him looking. Like, and don't like I do too. I'm not like that, but he gives everything away. I'll come back, honey. Did you make any sales? Well, you know, this guy came up and he looked a little sad. And I'm like, okay. So I gave him 3 books and then I gave him some of the cards and I'm like, oh dear God. Why don't you go take a walk? So
that's the side effects of a ministry. You always want to give stuff to people.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We have plenty of stuff. I made sure there's plenty of stuff to give away.
Yes.
We did our last Kickstarter campaign. We actually had about 5 different backers that bought books to give to children. So I had this whole thing set up with a little spinny wheel. They have to play a game, and on there is the book. On there is like character cards. On there are bookmarks. This is all going to be free stuff. But I guarantee you guys, when we come back next Wednesday night, I'm going to be telling you stories about how we could have made a sale. But this is Chris. No. It's really not that good. You know, let me tell you the story behind this. And I'm like kicking him under the table.
No, I'm done doing that though. So what she's talking about, it was when we first started going to conventions, especially when my books were out. I know, particularly with the first books, the quality level is not. I'm just going to say it's not Marvel and DC. I appreciate the books for what they are. I love them, but I didn't really feel confident in presenting them. Now that we have so many books, we've actually put all the old books together in little, collections, omnibuses. I keep calling them.
You have definitely increased your artistry.
Right, but the old stuff is even appreciable because it's in a yearly annual now.
Right.
So
but we marketed it as a sandbox. Don't you remember?
I do remember.
That was the big joke. And I went and bought sandboxes thinking it was a sandbox he was talking about. Because listen, a sandbox, you get in, you create, you build up and you smush down. Well, he's thinking like from the computer world sandbox, I guess, right?
Very similar. That's what a software environment, a sandbox environment would be for. Yeah, but the thing about it is though, now we have a bunch of books that we can present, and it actually shows the growth over the last 3 years, and the cool thing is I know how that's going to look in 10 years. Right. We'll be able to go back and say, well, yeah, this is our first series of books from 2019, and it'll be awesome to see, like the change. And unless something happens where I stop growing as an artist and a writer, the change is going to be awesome.
But one of the things that we have that many of the other people in Artist Alley do not have is our table is very interactive. Our table is kid friendly. And why is that, honey?
Because my wife
is your wife is not
type lady. My wife works with autistic children, which means she learns how to get them to do things. In fact, I'm autistic on a mild sense. Yeah, so she knows how to motivate us. So she set up this table, and I thought it was going to fail miserably, but children, particularly children with any special needs, come right to us because they sense it.
Like magnets.
The table is like, oh, you can play in sand, you can spin wheels, you get free stuff. Here's some candy.
You can color pages.
Oh yeah, she's got everything set up.
So that's my marketing strategy. That's where we're at this point. But I realize that I have to invest more time and become a little bit more refined in how to market things. Not at a Comic-Con, I'm fine. At like real life, face-to-face stuff, that's not my. It's like the online, the social media.
Do you guys have your own website yet?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do.
But we don't update it enough.
Chris doesn't update it, and I have to figure out how to work.
I do update it, but like for instance, it still says check out the Kickstarter for Cyclopean 1, and I just saw that today. I have to go fix it as soon as we're done.
I said to you, go ahead.
So you have your own store then, basically, on the website.
Not yet. I've started an Etsy store, and that will be completed by the end of next week. I just haven't had the time.
I'm glad you have an Etsy, but you need to put your stuff for sale on your own website.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would agree. I have that. I've done that.
Yeah. And then you can put on Twitter, right in your bio, the link right directly to your website.
Right.
And then people will click on your bio on Twitter and say, hey, check out my Twitter. Right there's the link for your store. That'll take them right to your store, right to your website.
Right.
And
Make
boom,
it easy.
anything they
Easy,
want
easy,
is right
easy.
there.
Yeah, and if you're running a campaign, you can link the campaign to your site as well.
So we have to do that.
Put a link on your site.
Yeah, and that's what too many people are thinking. They have to have stuff everywhere. They have to have their fingers in all these different pies.
You're right.
Stay in one area where you can have all your stuff, one-stop shop.
Right. Because the link could link to like the Etsy store itself.
It wouldn't have to. You would just make the store on, even if you had to, essentially you wouldn't have to use Etsy if you can get people to go to Hero Shack.
Yeah, if you can get everybody to go to HeroShack.com or whatever it is, you have a section on that website, buy my books, or here's the store section. And you could just say, hey, if you want this book at $5, this book at $10, or if you want them all at one bundle, here it is. Here's my address. Here's how to contact me, email, boom. Do all your transactions through PayPal, Cash App, whatever.
So that's how you handle the shopping cart aspect.
Because you don't even have to integrate that through your website if you don't have the problem.
Gotcha.
You can just say, hey, PayPal me, because there's a PayPal link that you can actually get now. It's PayPal.me and then your name. So you don't have to give out an email address or anything. It's just PayPal.me.
Yeah, I have buttons on my thing that you can just click pay, through PayPal. I have the PayPal stuff. I've set up all that stuff myself on my.
Yeah, some people might not know how to do that though, Cross.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying if they might need any help, I might be able to help.
Well, look at that.
There you go. But
networking.
You know how to do all that, right?
What, honey?
No, he doesn't. Okay, so
no. Well, wait a minute. Let me explain something. I used to do all that. Yes, we can do all this. The problem is, and this is why I wish we would just hire somebody. The problem is time, because I spend, and this is, I'm not making an excuse, but I spend literally most of my free time drawing the books.
So that's why I have to learn how to do it.
Right.
Because if I know how to do that kind of stuff, because he's so engrossed in drawing and writing and coloring and doing this and that, he doesn't have time to do any of that. So I have to learn how to do it. I can learn. I love.
Can any of your kids run the website? Are they?
Oh, that's my thought. We just haven't found one of them willing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our kids are all our kids are like young adults. They're all into their own thing. One of them is married. The other one might as well be.
Well, look what Vince McMahon did. He gave Shane WWF.com back in the day, and he made that into a wonderful store, and they made billions of dollars doing that.
Right.
So, and keep it in the family. That's what EBS is doing right now. He's got Hunter working for him. He's got Andrea filling the orders, and then he's got the group of migrant children that he's in his warehouse filling the boxes and stuff.
I actually agree with that, though. I think just keeping it as much of the family as we can.
Something.
Yeah.
The problem is they're going to want to get paid, and we're not in a position to pay. So it's like this catch-22, because I know exactly what you're talking about, getting somebody to help us out to do it. Somebody that
your kids.
People are going to want to get paid. So I can maybe promise them money. That might work. I can make mean lasagna.
Well, the thing is, you've got your website up and running, so it would probably only take, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours a week just to do some minor alterations for whatever's going on. So,
it won't be bad once we get a system. Somehow we'll figure it out.
And Timothy's written several things in the chat.
So if you can, maybe you pay him like $20 or $30 a week.
Tim, I have.
Yeah, and once it's up, you only got to check it once a day to see if you get any orders.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just 6 minutes.
So how do you get the traffic to your website? That's like the technical, the stuff that you guys are talking about, adding buttons and stores and all that. We can figure.
Well, for starters, we're already posting in Facebook and Twitter on a regular basis.
Right.
Instead of pointing them to Etsy, Amazon, or wherever eBay,
We're gonna
you point them to Hero Shack.
Yeah, exactly. Point them
Right.
to your site, you know,
Right.
and that's good. You're on Facebook. You know, there's tons of different groups out there. You know, don't look for just comic book groups. Look for
Right.
groups like horror groups.
Yeah.
Look for group, especially with the cluster fudge. Look
Yep.
for groups that like cult movie groups that like comics. You know,
Yeah.
things like that. Don't just stick to comics.
You're right.
Branch out.
I have a new machine that I'm going to be doing some crafting stuff. And that is going to be a big help. My
What's he
husband's
laughing
laughing. Listen, I am stop laughing at me.
Did you guys know you can actually gamble too on Facebook?
Really?
No.
Yes, with items. I've done this. I have lost and I have won so many things on Facebook because it's called a Raz or a waffle. There's different groups. These are the terms that they use to get around a raffle because raffling is illegal on Facebook. So they say waffle and Raz.
Maybe that's what a Belgian waffle is.
Yes. So basically what it is you sell spots like numbers 1, 2, 3, 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And though each number costs a set amount.
Right.
And then you do a random number generator. You do all this live, so it's all on the up and up. And the person's number that comes up wins whatever you're selling.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yep. So say if you have like a collection of your books, what does the collection of your books cost?
Oh, I don't know.
What, like what, $20?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So $20 plus maybe $5 shipping.
Right.
Okay. So you go onto these raffle sites, you
Yeah.
put up 10 spots
Yeah.
at $2.50 each.
Right.
So somebody is going to win your whole collection for only $2.50.
Gotcha.
And you're still going to make the money that you want, and even then some at $2.50, right?
Exactly. You make all your money. They just pay through PayPal, and make sure they pay friends and family with no notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because so many people have gotten their PayPal shut down because of their gambling. Because people are using goods and services and things like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's definitely like a no-no.
I'd avoid the gambling thing altogether.
Well, I'm just saying that's one thing you can do. Like, I'm going to tell you, Diana, it gets addicting if you can see, oh, look, I could win a lawnmower for only $20, you know?
All those hours that I'm giving up with pay, I'll be home going, honey, we won. All for the name of the business.
Oh, my
What'd
God.
you win? Dog food?
Everything. You can win anything and everything, and they ship it right to your house. You know, it's amazing.
That is so. I am definitely going to have to look into all of this stuff.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm telling you, yes.
Hey guys.
So I have to go pack our bags.
Yeah, I'm doing the fade out on y'all. Honestly,
I need to get some rest.
So much fun, and thank you, Soy Rage, for all of this information that you have shared with me. It's a lot.
So we will be doing some sort of updates over the weekend during the convention.
Yeah,
we'll post them to Twitter. There probably won't be live streams or anything, but we'll let you guys know how it's going. It'll be fun.
Just make sure you have fun with whatever you're doing, Diane.
That I am. I actually am. I just want to do
Just have fun. It's not work if you're having fun. If you're
That's right.
discovering something new that you can do with the website, if you discover a new group that you can advertise to, if you can just discover new people to talk to, just as long as you're having fun.
That's what I want. I want no drama, fun people. There you go.
There you go. Hail Brothers! IGG only!
So listen, we love you guys, and we'll see you around.
Thank you so much. And you guys, this has been
Love you too, Chris.
I'm gonna kill the stream so nobody be surprised.
Check me out here.